irritation, Shave Secret shaving oil can help stop it. Shave Secret doesn't cost much and is an all-American product. My name is Chuck Howard, and I developed Shave Secret and pioneered its use starting back in 1991. Ingrown hairs drove me nuts for years. Shaving oil changed all that. Why put up with ingrown hair, bumps, red rash, nicks, and cuts? Shave Secret provides men and women with what we believe is the best shave ever. Our proprietary blend of 100% natural base and essential oils plus a hint of menthol was designed to help eliminate shaving irritations like ingrown hairs, bumps, red rash, nicks, and cuts. We'll lose those shaving irritations. Available at Super Walmart, H-E-B, Wegmans, Giant Eagle, Discount Drug, Navy and Marine Exchanges, Amazon, and ShaveSecret.com. You use the code FTL for Free Talk Live and get a discount. Shave Secret, the best shave ever.
This is Michael Dean from the Freedom Fiends. I've run websites since 1996 and have used over a dozen web hosts in that time. AgristHosting.com is the only one that hasn't broken my heart. Agrist Hosting's uptime and service is stellar, and their DDoS mitigation is the best I've seen. That's important because if you tell the truth in this world, you'll ruffle feathers. And some people will try dirty tricks to silence your voice. No matter what the haters hit us with, Agrist Hosting keeps our websites online. If you have a mission-critical commercial presence or a world-changing activism site, you cannot tolerate any skullduggery. So go with AgristHosting.com. Have a WordPress or blog site, but you're not satisfied with performance or uptime? Or just want raw hosting? Want to pay with Bitcoin? Agrist Hosting specializes in high-performance hosting with personalized service. Go to AgristHosting.com and click on the button that says Get Hosted. That's AgristHosting.com.
There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and our main feed that includes everything. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com. So you've signed the Shire Society Declaration and are planning your move to New Hampshire to be around more liberty-oriented people. Next, sign up for the Shire Society Forum at forum.shiresociety.com. There are a bunch of people there who are already in the Shire, and they want to meet you. If you're already in the Shire physically, you should also come by the forums. Remember, not everyone uses Facebook. New people are signing up for the Shire Society Forum every month, so drop in and say hello at forum.shiresociety.com.
What's up next? Visit the Liberty Radio Network program guide to find out at shows.lrn.fm. That's shows.lrn.fm.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Free Talk Live, the live Monday nights edition. Our toll-free number here, of course, is 855-450-3733. That's 855-450-FREE, as in freedom. With you in the studio tonight, it's
Ian.
And nobody.
And I am your host, the Reverend Captain Kickass. We were talking in the previous segment about some prep stories that I brought in. I did not get to mention what I've named the title of tonight's show, which is Blue Igloo Rocket Launcher. And you're probably asking yourself, what, Captain, is a Blue Igloo Rocket Launcher? Well, it's not really a thing. It's not one thing. It's a couple of things. Apparently, in North Carolina, some anti-lockdown protesters went to a Subway sandwich place, and they were carrying arms. One of them was carrying a rocket launcher.
Groovy.
They apparently belong to a Facebook group called Blue Igloo, and so that's where you get the Blue Igloo rocket launcher from.
Nice, nice. Now, what's the significance of the Blue Igloo? Is that different from the Big Igloo?
Well, so I think, and the article doesn't, or if it did, I didn't notice that it specified, but my guess is, because all these social media places have been taken down, anything related to, whatever they don't like.
Yeah, if you say Boogaloo, they'll take you down.
Right, so I'm pretty sure they wouldn't let them publish their group as a Boogaloo group, so they named it Blue Igloo.
Oh, okay. Well, that gets used a lot. Big Igloo and Big Luau.
Right.
I just don't know. As a matter of fact, I was thinking if we do a protest on Hampton Beach, one good idea would be to have a Big Luau there.
Yeah, the headline reads, anti-lockdown protesters enter North Carolina sandwich shop with weapons, including apparent rocket launcher.
Nice.
So, yeah. The protesters showed up at a Subway sandwich shop in North Carolina with more than just their wallets over the weekend. Viral photos showed close to a dozen of them carrying weapons, including an apparent rocket launcher, inside the shop on Saturday.
Well, it was nice of him to bring his wallet anyway, because I'm told that if you carry a rocket launcher, you don't really have to pay for things.
Yeah. I always found it ironic that people give away like free coffee and donuts to, the police because
they're armed.
Well, right, but also, I mean, the police are already living off of your dime.
Yeah.
So why increase that? I almost feel like the police should pay twice as much.
Because you're hoping they might, you might appease them. Do you know what Winston Churchill said an appeaser was?
No, what's that?
He said an appeaser is a man who throws his children to the alligators in the hopes that they'll eat him last.
Oh. Yeah, I could see why you would call somebody that the appeaser. That's for sure. Let's just go ahead and go to your calls and your thoughts. It looks like we have Carla calling. Carla, you're listening on 1340 AM. Where are you calling from, Carla?
Coos Bay, Oregon, on the Highway 101. I mean, on the coast, on the beach.
Well, what's going on today, Carla?
Hey, I heard you guys were ranting and raving. I think it was one day last week about wearing masks, not wearing masks, people calling in saying don't do what, where. Anyway, if you want to hear a good rant, there's a gentleman called Corral. I don't know if you know of him. His computer line is reallycorral.com. Mm-hmm. And boy, can he do some ranting and raving about how he is not going to wear one.
No, really?
This is Corral, the talk show host with the K, Corral?
Yes.
Okay, good for Corral. I'm glad to hear that. I know Corral. We've been to a couple of the talkers conventions here and there. It's been a few years since I've seen him. He's actually one of the few remaining so-called progressive talk show hosts in the United States, and given how many lefties have been all in favor of the crackdowns, I'm actually pleasantly surprised to hear that he's planning on not wearing a mask.
Yeah, well, he's got several talks on it. Out here in Coos Bay, there's a small town called Empire, and there's a small radio station, and they play him, I think an hour 3 times a day, and he just is so funny, and is so drama, and
Well, okay. How do you feel about it, though?
Yeah, that's what I was.
I mean, I'm glad you like Corral, but how do you feel about it,
Carla?
Well, I don't leave the home too much.
Do you wear the mask when you do?
No.
Good.
Nice.
Nor do I.
Me neither.
Yeah.
Well, the community we live in is pretty small, and my life is pretty dull. I probably go to 2 stores and then return back home out in a rural area. So, also, too, we haven't seen any high statistics here and stuff like that. But no, I don't let it scare me or...
Good for you.
I try not to listen to the news because it's just a bunch of
They're just lying.
Crap.
They're lying to you. They're lying.
Yeah. Well, good for you, Carla.
Yeah, I feel like it's your flu. History repeats itself. We've had bad epidemics in the past, and when it's your time, it's your time. And we can't clean the whole world. You can't wipe every
it's a dirty,
surface
dirty
down.
place.
Well, thanks for the call
That's one of
tonight,
my
Carla.
favorite
We
things
certainly
about it.
appreciate it. Good for her. I enjoy hearing from folks who aren't buying into the fear, who are going to just go about their lives and, not, just basically be anti the dominant paradigm, And
Yeah,
it warms my heart a little bit.
It's actually kind of nice seeing the people in public wearing the masks, because I know these are people I probably don't want to really get to know. I'm not actually interested in these people. They're probably not folks who would agree with me. So it's it's a little filtering mechanism in more ways than one.
Yeah, well, it's certainly...
At least it gives me a clue where to start with them.
Yeah, indeed.
Which is to say, I don't want to talk to them because, they would want to step away from me. They'd want to not be close to me. They don't want to, they don't want to have their face seen. So, to me, that's not a human interaction.
I don't necessarily know that any of that is true, because there's another possibility. Some people are wearing masks simply because other people are more comfortable if they do, without having any fear of their own. And
yeah,
that just
true.
means they're going along to get along.
Right.
I got better things to do.
Well, and didn't the government itself come out originally and say masks aren't going to do you any good? They're not going to help, contain the infection at all. In fact, it might prevent you from breathing properly, et cetera, and so on. And so somehow that has flipped. Now, I haven't heard anybody, I haven't read any articles or heard any government person say, the masks are definitely helping. Right, but I feel like...
I wouldn't believe them if they said it anyway.
I feel like the public sentiment has shifted as far as the dominant, opinion, right? Everybody's wearing the masks.
Well, the stores want you to. There's a sign up at Walmart today when I went in.
there was a sign at Staples today. I ignored it.
Mm-hmm. Here's your sign. Free Talk Live, 855-450 free. More coming up.
Do you want more businesses accepting Bitcoin Cash and Dash? Now with AnyPay, you earn passive income for every purchase at those businesses. Finally, a financial incentive to spread Bitcoin Cash and Dash. You made it happen, so you receive the rewards. Download the AnyPay Cash Register app and add your cryptocurrency wallet addresses. Then install it at a real-life business and tell us what you did at AnyPayInc.com. AnyPayInc.com.
The next generation wallet is coming from Divvy. In just a few taps, you'll be able to send, earn, spend, and exchange digital money in seconds. Send money around the globe with only a swipe. Instantly exchange between Divvy, Bitcoin, and fiat right in the mobile app, and withdraw directly to your bank account. Divvy already offers the first one-tap solution for earning passive income with crypto. Multi-tiered masternodes allow everyone to partake in the network. Visit DivvyProject.org. DivvyProject.org.
We have some good news. The indictments against Ross Ulbricht in the District of Maryland were dismissed with prejudice, meaning they can never be refiled. This is especially good because those indictments contain the only charge ever made that Ross engaged in murder for hire. This was a serious allegation that Ross Ulbricht denies. It was never prosecuted or ruled on by a jury, but was trumpeted by the federal government and the media as if it were proven fact. The Maryland court held these indictments for almost 5 years, poisoning Ross's case and leaving him under a cloud of unproven allegations. As explained in Ross's appeal to the Supreme Court, the fact that the judge used these allegations to give Ross a draconian sentence of double life without parole violated his Sixth Amendment right to a jury trial. Judges are required to issue sentences based on convictions decided by a jury, not unproven allegations never even charged at trial. Although this is a positive development, the dropped indictment will not set Ross free. Now, a presidential pardon is Ross's only hope of freedom. Sign the petition at freeross.org. freeross.org.
The new 4th edition of Healing Our World, The Compassion of Libertarianism, will take your understanding of liberty to a deeper level and has over 1,300 updated references, new cartoons, and a foreword by Dr. Ron Paul. With discounts for multiple book purchases, the 4th edition of Healing Our World is a great gift for the liberals, pragmatists, environmentalists, and Christians in your life who think libertarianism is cold-hearted. Get yours today at healing.freetalklive.com and use promo code FTL for a $5 discount. What if you want to hear the latest episode of Free Talk Live, but all you have is your phone, you forgot to download our archive, and you have no data connection? you can call our Listen line at 641-793-0191. That's a long-distance number, so you may incur charges. If not, listen as long as you want. 641-793-0191. The Free Talk Live Listen line, 641-793-0191.
It seems like we're constantly hearing different fitness advice. Exercise 2 to 3 times a week for at least 30 minutes a day. And don't forget cardio. But don't exercise too much or you'll get hurt. So, how much exercise should you be getting? Well, actually not that much, since the human body is only built to withstand walking a short distance before lying or sitting down again. In fact, a group of biologists from Stanford found that walking more than 5 feet at a time can cause joint pain, fatigue, and even extreme hunger. The study concluded that the maximum effort the human body can safely endure is reaching for an item high on a shelf. Our bodies simply aren't built to stand up and move around. So maybe those high-intensity spin classes and daily jogs aren't such a good idea. Instead of walking up the stairs every day, try taking the elevator whenever possible. You can even use a fitness tracker to let you know when you've been exerting too much energy. Your body will appreciate it. For The Onion, I'm Jill Hooper.
This is the Onion News Network. Join the LRN.FM Discord for live chat 24/7 at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
Yeah, this is Free Talk Live. Welcome back, everybody. You are in the right place for the live Monday night edition. Our toll-free number here is 855-450-3733. That's 855-450-FREE, like freedom. And you can call in and take control of the airwaves, talk about, well, whatever you want to. With you in the studio tonight, it's myself, the captain.
It's Ian.
And nobody.
And circling back now, we were talking a bit about some folks, some anti-lockdown protesters in North Carolina who decided to go have a sandwich. Apparently, they've relaxed or they've implemented some phase 1 reopening type things, according to the article. And so they decided to show up at a Subway with more than just their wallets. One of the gentlemen apparently carrying a rocket launcher. Travis Long, a photojournalist for the North Carolina-based newspaper The News and Observer, said he took the pictures on his day off while tracking the group called Blue Igloo, which the Observer said they set up the gathering in downtown Raleigh to show support for the First and Second Amendments. And they, of course, have a photo here in the article. We'll post that out to our social media sites. But his photo shows the group with and without masks, ordering at the sandwich franchise from a single employee behind the counter. One man had a weapon resembling an AT-4 rocket launcher with, quote, inert, unquote, stickers near the top, as well as guns on his waist.
What is it? So inert? It's like just for show?
Well, either that or he didn't want to get shot, so he put a sticker on it that said it was.
Right. I mean, how else would you...
It's always safer to go out and do crime if you paint the tip of your gun orange. First. You're that much more likely to get the drop on the cops.
So he did have the rocket launcher labeled inert, but he also was carrying guns on his waist, apparently. Another carried a rifle that appeared to be partially made out of wood. So I don't know. Maybe this reporter doesn't know. I mean, I've seen plenty of wood-grained rifles and that kind of a thing.
Most of them have wood involved, or at least the older ones do.
So
it used to be nearly all gun stocks were wooden.
Yeah, and some of them really nice, too.
So is this story just about a news photographer who was amazed to see some guys come in with guns to the Subway? Is that pretty much what this is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, essentially. I mean, if you want to wrap it up into a nutshell, it's just this guy saying, hey, I saw this thing. I took some photos. The pictures apparently gathered thousands of retweets and more than 20,000 likes on Twitter. Were shared by comedians including Kathy Griffin and Patton Oswalt. Actress Mia Farrow tweeted, "Arrogant, armed, stupid, white privilege." So, of course, all the lefties are, against this sort of a showing and a exercising of, your rights as a human being.
Was it white privilege when the Black Panthers did it?
They conveniently forget about that.
Yeah, I think that was cat privilege, feline privilege, perhaps.
Oh, could be.
I'm not really certain. Apparently, a Facebook Live showing captured the group entering the store, that kind of a thing.
Yeah, I don't know if this is really news, but that's nice.
Yeah, it's just people are upset with other people exercising their right to keep and bear arms, of course. So,
well, they're always going to be upset about that. But as long as you keep doing it, then maybe you'll retain the right. But if you let people who are upset cow you and scare you into not doing it anymore, then they win.
Yeah, the last statement here in the article really sort of highlights the emotion that this person had. Quote, "The streets we were walking on were public, and anyone is allowed to be there."
And who was saying that?
So that was the writer. So basically their sentiment was, oh my gosh, they're carrying guns in public.
I think that says the group added that there, so that would be their statement.
Oh, no,
right?
I'm sorry. Yeah. This was the other statement. They're not protecting themselves, Thomas said. They're literally walking around terrorizing people just by having a gun. So, which is false. I mean, I've been to so many group gatherings where folks are armed, and wow, I've never felt safer. I don't know. Have you ever been to a gun show?
Oh, yeah.
2 tickets to the gun show?
That's sort of the line with gun shows, that you're, safe at a gun show. But there was one gun show I was at where a shot did ring out.
A whole one.
Well, if it connected with you, you wouldn't have that attitude.
Of course.
But a shot did ring out. It was accidental. It wasn't somebody blasting another person. I think it was a dropped gun, if I recall the story correctly. But it's been 20-some years since this happened.
Yeah.
And that was a pretty scary moment. So it is true that the more guns you have around, the more chances there is going to be an accident that happens. I was talking with somebody else recently who was, I forget who. I think actually Richie Rich, our Sunday night co-host.
Yeah.
And he's got a wife who was born and raised in Hawaii, and it's an anti-gun place there. And so she's not in favor of guns at all. She's very scared of them. And they were doing a move-in party with some Liberty people that were moving here, because if people move into New Hampshire and you let people know in advance and, you want some help unloading the moving truck, there's usually like a dozen people at least that'll show up, maybe 3 dozen, you never know, to help you unload the truck. Well, one of these guys that was doing the move-in group, and so there was a guy with a gun. He had it like in a holster, like a shoulder holster of some sort.
Okay.
And Richie and his wife were there. And, he's trying to tell her that these people are safe with their guns and so on and so forth. And then I guess this guy was up on the truck moving something, and he leaned over and the gun just came right out of the shoulder holster and clacked, right on the floor. And, it was relatively nearby this woman who is already petrified of guns. So, I mean, luckily it didn't go off. But those are pretty scary moments.
I mean, you can drop a gun 10,000 times, it won't go off. It's extremely rare for that to. Well, guns get dropped in the world 10,000 times, and then the 10,000th time it might go off.
Yeah, I mean, if you've got the hammer pulled back, and something goes wrong with it landing just the right way or whatever, I mean, it's not impossible for that to happen.
Sure, I mean,
none of the guns I've had have ever been double action where you could lock the hammer back. I've never seen the point with that.
Yeah, with anything, I mean, something can go wrong, right? Cars get into accidents. People are dumb. Generally speaking, people do dumb things. Even the smartest people on the planet. But my point to the folks that are vehemently anti-gun is, all right. If you want to be anti-gun, then be consistent in your message, and let's get the government to go first.
To get rid of their guns.
Disarm the entire government.
Yeah, disarm the government first, and then see if they can figure out how to take the guns away from the rest of us.
Let them go first. That's my whole point there. I know that we covered the restaurateur in Maine, Mr. Savage. You mentioned, Ian, you had a update on that.
So this is the guy who opened his restaurant in defiance of the governor's orders.
Mr. Rick Savage, if I remember correctly.
His name is Rick Savage. The restaurant is Sunday River Brewing Company. And he opened the restaurant, and then subsequently, I believe either the same day or the next day, received notice that his health permit was being pulled and his liquor permit was being pulled. He said he was going to stay open, but then he changed his mind and said they were closing. But then apparently he changed his mind again and decided to reopen the restaurant. There have been a few reports about that, according to ConcordMonitor.com, the main restaurateur who reopened his business on Tuesday, reopened a second time after gaining some notoriety for his previous rebellion. He allowed dine-in customers in his Sunday River Brewing Company in Bethel, Maine, in defiance of the governor's orders, which allow restaurants to open only for takeout orders until June 1st. Savage continued to criticize the governor for not acting fast enough to reopen the state's economy after she took emergency steps to so-called stem the spread of the coronavirus. The owner of the business said, quote, "They don't understand. They think they can take their time and figure things out. Businesses aren't going to last," he said.
Yeah, and I mean, we keep seeing stories about folks closing and other businesses wondering if they're even going to be able to reopen when it's all over.
So he's continuing to run without a permit, apparently. And I don't know if that means he's serving liquor, but at the very least, he's serving food.
Yep. Maybe we should road trip over there.
This is Free Talk Live. We got more coming up.
Houseflies defecate every 4 to 5 minutes, spreading disease and germs. Protect your food and your health with Bug Assault, a miniaturized shotgun, which utilizes ordinary table salt as ammunition. Non-toxic, no batteries required, only $39.95. Use discount code GCN and get an extra 10% off your purchase at bugassault.com. Fire your fly swatter. Get your Bug Assault today.
Now with orders to stay at home, public health concerns, the reality of illness due to pathogens and viruses. Your health is at an all-time high risk. That's why it's critical to take a proactive approach to boost your immune system. You can with new nanocolloidal silver from Americare, our patented process with tiny silver particles, 1/100th the size of a red blood cell, allows for maximum body absorption. Americare's nanocolloidal silver effectively disinfects your body internally, attacking pathogens and viruses while supercharging your immune system. Colloidal silver is antibacterial and antiviral. Simply put, it prohibits bacterial respiration, suffocating viral cells, preventing the virus from replicating. And now, due to public health concern, Americare is authorized to offer our lowest and best price ever, around $1 a day, but supplies are limited. Purchase nanocolloidal silver now at immunesupportnow.com. That's immunesupportnow.com. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Supplies are limited.
Are you afraid to go to the mailbox because of letter after letter from the IRS? Are they stacking on more and more penalties and interest? By now, you know the problem won't go away on its own. Don't let the IRS chase you to your grave with penalties and interest and liens and levies. You need real help now. I'm Dan Pilla. I wrote the book on tax debt settlement, and I help thousands of people solve tax problems they thought couldn't be solved. I can help you too. Call 800-34-NO-TAX or go to my website, danpilla.com. That's danpilla.com. danpilla.com.
The Shire Free Church offers a sanctuary to those seeking an escape from state churches.
The Shire Free Church is an interfaith, diverse group of people that may not share identical theological beliefs. As a member in or minister of the Shire Free Church, you are a sovereign individual and may be the faith of your choice.
We don't claim to have all of the answers.
We are open to all peaceful people.
We want to learn from each other.
What unifies the Shire Free Church and its diverse members is peace,
love, and liberty. There are many paths to God, one for every individual.
The Shire Free Church does not define a specific path beyond those parameters that must be your foundation.
Peace as your way,
love as your guide,
and liberty as your light.
Learn more at church.shiresociety.com.
That's church.shiresociety.com. Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get one free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organizations to show up at any emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare for the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411 has had thousands of installs, and of course it's covered by the bigot no government license. Cell 411 because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com.
Live video of our key New Hampshire-based shows is streamed on DLive. Please follow and share at dlive.lrn.fm. That's dlive.lrn.fm.
Welcome back to Free Talk Live. The live Monday night edition. It's the talk radio show where you can call in and take control of the air. Our toll-free number here is 855-450-3733. That's 855-450-FREE, like freedom. And you can also get us on our Discord at discord.lrn.fm, where if you do, you can sound almost as if you're sitting here in the studio with us. And in said studio tonight, it's
Ian.
And nobody.
And myself, I am the captain. And I wanted to tell you about Bitcoin.com. Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposits, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. That's local.bitcoin.com. And just a few moments ago during the break, Ian, you and I were talking a bit about, what are you passionate about? And as you know, I'm a musician.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm pretty concerned about the fact that basically the music industry is dead. There are no opportunities for live performances anywhere, pretty much globally. That includes all art performances, not just music. It includes comedy.
Well, there was that drive-in
theater.
movie or the drive-in concert that we talked about last week.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a thing.
I mean,
It doesn't sound like any fun, but
people are trying to, as best they can, innovate around the quote new normal unquote, or as I like to call it, the dystopian.
Well, necessity is the mother of invention, as they say. Unfortunately, the inventions here aren't really exciting or interesting in any way, shape, or form. At least not to me.
Yeah. Well, and apparently the first quarantine concert foretells music's dystopian future. This is a.
I don't know if that's a true statement, because didn't they already have that drive-in concert, or was that just something they were talking about doing? Because I saw photos. It looked like
they did, but that was in Europe somewhere.
Okay, well,
I don't know.
That would count as the first one, I would think, not this one.
Right.
But then again, they probably didn't. Journalists, they don't research anything before they actually, go out and put a headline there.
Right, but this one is more like a venue actually opens to individual people rather than
standing in a place.
Right, rather than people driving into a field to see a outdoor concert.
Gotcha.
Where they're outstanding in the field.
Outstanding. They're outstanding in the field, indeed. This is actually from Mashable. Did you bring this story?
Somebody posted it somewhere.
Well,
I don't ever find anything originally. It's all other people.
Whoever did, thanks, but also I don't know that I really even. I read this. I read the whole thing, and I just really hate this article. Not because it's a poorly written article or anything like that.
Just bad news.
It's just, as a musician, it really kills my soul, man. It has an effect on me that I'm just like, really. A concert in Fort Smith, Arkansas on May 15th, you're right, it's coming up, will be one of the first, if not the first, live socially distanced show in the U.S. since the beginning of wide-scale shutdowns meant to curb the spread of blah, 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 COVID-19. The show promises to be weird. Yeah, can't imagine. The ornate venue, Temple Live, will only fill 229 of the 1,100 seats. So
25%.
25%. According to the promoters' plans, everyone...
Or 20%.
must wear masks.
God, that's awful.
Everyone must wear masks. I wonder if the performers are going to have to wear masks. Right, I know. In like
that sounds really uncomfortable.
Pre-COVID-19 law, there was all sorts of like things written in for the performers. Right, Doug Stanhope would take advantage of this and smoke on stage, even though smoking indoors at venues that serve booze has been outlawed all across the United States. They have these little sort of exceptions for the performers. So if you're doing a performance piece
and it's a play
and it's important to whatever it is you're trying to get across, and so he takes advantage of that. We used to take advantage of that as a band and bring our drinks on stage. Right, if we were like at an all ages venue or whatever, and like the people that drank had to be in the back, and then like all the kids could be up front. Well, we're the performers, so we're bringing our beer on stage while we play.
It's part of the performance.
Yeah. So the show promises to be weird, 25% capacity. Everyone must wear masks. Attendees will have their temperature taken before entering.
I just find this so creepy and so frustrating.
I just want to rent a warehouse and find a band and let them play there.
Yeah,
charge $5 cover and let the chips fall where they may.
There's a rock band, Caius, and a couple of those guys went on to form a band that most folks today would know in rock and roll called Queens of the Stone Age. They got their start by just grabbing a generator and all their music gear and throwing a party out in the desert. They just go and drive out into the sand somewhere, miles and miles and miles away from everybody, start a bonfire, fire up the generator, fire up their tunes, and just play all night, and that's how they got their start. I imagine there will be more of that coming from musicians.
There was talk with you and Aria about doing a jam session right here in downtown Keene.
I think she basically challenged me to a rock-off of sorts, if you're not familiar with The Pick of Destiny, the movie with Jack Black. And
I've not seen it.
Well, if you're going to have a rock-off, rock on.
And perhaps the devil will show up. We don't know. In that movie, it was Dave Grohl who played the devil.
The devil?
Yeah, he did a great job, too. But back to the article, attendees will have their temperature taken before entering. Temple Live will have a company disinfect rooms with fog sprayers before the show. So they're going to hire some folks to come in and, bug bomb or otherwise disinfect the venue.
How healthy exactly is it to be in this fog spray stuff? Because,
I don't know.
From what I understand, there's photos of the Chinese, for instance, like spraying people down as they get off an airplane or spraying school children as they go to school. I don't know if that seems like something I would want to be inhaling. I just don't think that doesn't seem like it's a good thing to me.
Well, and like most of the music venues, their concert turnover is, they'll have a show every night, right? Just to, make sure that they keep some cash coming in, even though a Tuesday night show might not, if you have just local artists and you don't have any headliner coming in, it's not going to draw anybody, but, it keeps the bartenders paid and in tips and, all that kind of stuff.
Well, now they can't have more than 25% of their capacity. Yeah. These venues aren't built to be at 25% every single night. It's okay if you hit a light showing every now and then, but you got to be packing people in there.
Oh, dude, this isn't even a rock show.
What is it?
It'll be featuring a solo performance by country rocker Travis McCready, whoever the heck that is. I wonder if he plays both kinds, country and Western music.
There you go. Good Blues Brothers reference there.
Yeah. Hut, 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 hut. And though the hall will be mostly empty, you can't sit wherever you please.
Oh, great.
Ticketmaster is selling Ticket Bastard. Sorry, I mispronounced their name. Ticket Bastard is selling tickets in groups of 2 to 13 seats to keep parties separated by at least 6 feet. Now, I'm a heavy metal guy. I like the thrash metal, I like the hardcore metal, metalcore, that kind of stuff, and slam dancing, right? That's the West Coast version of the mosh pit, right?
They call it something different on the West Coast?
Yeah, so slam dancing came about
That's what they called it in the 80s in Michigan, too.
Right. Slam dancing came about more through the punk rock, sort of wave, if you will. And then there was this time where punk rock met heavy metal, and they called it crossover thrash, right? So like thrash became a little more punk rock, and that's where the mosh pit really sort of took off as far as the name. So Suicidal Tendencies, one of my favorite bands of all time. They actually have songs where they're like, we don't mosh, we effing slam, right? But they don't say effing for obvious reasons because they're not playing that song on the radio. But so slam dancing was the original mosh pit, the original subculture. And then once the crossover sort of hit, there won't be any of that. There won't be any stage diving.
There will be no energy whatsoever at any show in the foreseeable future. It will just be this staid, boring crap. I can't imagine why anyone who actually plays any kind of up-tempo music would want to be performing where only a third of the people or a quarter of the people are allowed to be in attendance, and everybody has to be 6 feet away from everybody else. So, there's absolutely going to be zero energy, zero excitement, zero fun. It's going to be god-awful.
Well, I don't know, because the other possibility is they're just going to tell the government that that's what they're doing, and when push comes to shove, they're actually going to go out there and have a good time.
I hope you're right about that.
Only time will tell.
Yeah, if this concert were announced, here in Keene or somewhere nearby, at a regular venue that has concerts, I don't think I would go.
No, I wish
go and rock.
Yeah, I wish you were right about it, nobody. But from what you've seen of these businesses around here, they want to enforce these rules.
Free Talk Live, we got more coming up. 855, 450, free like freedom.
Remember when you first heard about Bitcoin? How long did it take you to realize this little project would soon change the world? Do you kind of wish you had gotten involved sooner? Well, now is your chance to be a part of the next revolution in money. Intercoin is working to finally make crypto go mainstream. It's designed to be scalable enough to support everyday payments and even elections without the state. Bitcoin was originally supposed to be a peer-to-peer cash system, the way we would all pay one another without having to trust any third party. But instead, over time, it mostly became a store of value. That's because every 10 minutes, the Bitcoin network must put all transactions into a block, and that block can only hold so much. If crypto is to become mainstream, for people to use it for everyday payments, we need a new architecture, one that is as secure as Bitcoin while being far more scalable. Check out intercoin.org to find out more and maybe pick up some of those coins for yourself.
Are you a cryptocurrency advocate? The Crypto Tip is the ideal outreach tool to help new people discover cryptocurrency. It's a printable business card-sized tip that you can give to service providers, preferably in addition to a good cash tip. When the server scans the QR code, it'll bring up an explanation of cryptocurrency, how to install a wallet, and allow them to claim the tip. If they don't claim the crypto, you get your tip refunded to you after a time period you specify. Plus, if they do claim the tip, you get an email alert. Create as many tips as you want at cryptotip.org. That's cryptotip.org. So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 2 is next, after the news, here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with the SNLS Network and listeners like you. Online at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,704, silver at $15.69, and Bitcoin is trading around $8,644. Today's gold, silver, and Bitcoin prices are brought to you by Brave Botanicals, high-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven. The Liberty Beat and Brave Botanicals believe so strongly in the power of kratom, we're giving it away for free. Just go to libertybeat.news/free kratom. This is the Liberty Beat at snlsnetwork.com. In the news, a team from the University of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, has developed automated computer facial recognition software that they claim can predict with 80% accuracy and no racial bias whether a person is likely going to be a criminal, purely by looking at a picture of them. Minpress News reports it's a worrying use of words the team uses in their own press release, as they move from referring to those the software recognizes as being likely criminals to just criminals, in the space of just one sentence, suggesting they are confident in the discredited racist pseudoscience they appear to have updated for the 21st century. Public reaction to the project was less than enthusiastic, judging by comments left on Facebook, which included that societies have been trying to push the idea of born criminals for centuries.
Ever wonder where we find all the news to report right here on the Liberty Beat? Visit snls.news to get the world's most censored media published all in one place. Save yourself from the endless time spent searching for reliable alternative media. SNLS News makes it quick and easy. No ads, no clickbait, just raw headlines, 24 hours a day. Visit snls.news and get informed today without the corporate media spin. Your news now continues. Adeline and Robert Hart and their 2 children had harmed no one and broken no laws when heavily armed militarized SWAT deputies with the Johnson County, Kansas Sheriff's Department stormed their home like it was an ISIS compound. The hero deputies were searching for evidence of marijuana production and use, but they found none because the Harts don't use or produce marijuana. They do grow vegetables, and they also drink tea. Activist Post reports the Harts and their 2 children were held at gunpoint and nearly killed for purchasing supplies for their vegetable garden and drinking tea. After they were seen buying gardening supplies, cops rummaged through their trash and mistook tea leaves for weed, sparking probable cause for the raid. According to Reason, the couple, whose home was raided in 2012 after sheriff's deputies claimed that the loose tea found in the trash was marijuana, will receive $150,000 for their trouble under a settlement agreement with the Johnson County Sheriff's Office. For those who have lost their jobs during the coronavirus lockdown, it appears a whole new sector of jobs is opening up across the country. Cities and states are seeking contact tracers and disease investigators to track down anyone who may have COVID-19 or anyone who may have come in contact with people diagnosed with the virus. Activist Post reports there are multiple job postings on Indeed.com. Job titles include Contact Tracer, Contact Tracing Supervisor, COVID-19 Case Investigator, and Communicable Disease Investigator. While some may find the positions to be necessary for public health, others find them invasive and meddlesome. One of the most worrisome aspects is what kind of power is held by the tracers and investigators. If they feel someone is not quarantining properly and they report that person, what happens next? Ventura County, California officials claimed they would remove people suffering from COVID from their homes if there was only one bathroom, a claim they've since walked back after public outrage ensued. Support for the Liberty Beat is brought to you by the Homestead Guru. The Homestead Guru is an educational website offering tips, tools, news, stories, and commentary on everything homesteading. Topics include green homes, gardening, animal husbandry, do-it-yourself, home remedies, alternative energy, survivalism, unschooling, and more. Those details are found online at thehomestead.guru. This is the Liberty Beat, powered by the SNLS Network at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
Later in the hour, the U.S. Postal Service announces that you can deliver the mail yourself if you think it's so easy. But first up in health news, researchers from Harvard University have found a strong link between male virility and wearing Motley Crue denim jackets. For the study, researchers paired fans of the band with a control group and found that those wearing Motley Crue attire were far more likely to knock out some chick's totally jacked boyfriend and then do it with her later that same day than those who simply wore casual clothes and probably wouldn't know what it feels like to have 2 threesomes in one night.
Men who own jackets with an image of Tommy Lee and Nikki Sixx sitting on top of a pair of breasts with nipples in the shape of pentagrams showed higher levels of sexual potency, endurance, and libido. These guys do it all the time, and sometimes even in public. They don't care.
Although the study primarily focused on men in Motley Crue jackets, researchers also found that men who listened to Nirvana had a high likelihood of staying virgins forever.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
Welcome back, everybody. We're going into the second hour of this live Monday night edition of Free Talk Live. Yes, you are in the right place. Our toll-free number here is 855-450-3733. That's
Groovy.
855.
The lounge music.
450 free, like freedom. Thank you. You're beautiful. I'm welcome.
You're lounging with the captain on Free Talk Live. Call on in.
Lounge against the machine. Oh wait, no, that's not my recording. That's somebody else's.
Aren't they raging in favor of the machine now? Aren't they big on socialism and giving the government absolute power?
One does not rage against the machine by voting in a machine created by a machine.
Good point.
Yeah. We were talking about this article from Mashable about somewhere in. What did we say? Fort Smith,
Arkansas, where we are on the radio, by the way, in Fort Smith.
We are. And they're going to attempt to have some sort of thing that resembles a concert. And it's dystopian for certain.
We should ask our listeners on KFPW if you're intending to attend this concert, let us know. And after the fact, let us know what it was like, would you please?
Yes, please do. It's going down on May 15th.
I think that's Friday night.
At a place called Temple Live. So apparently tickets are $20, and they apparently haven't sold out despite the limited number, only 229 out of the 1,100 or so capacity that it has. And they're talking about taking your temperature before you go in. Masks will be required, social distancing protocols. Stay 6 feet away from everybody else.
Thought you were going to go to the concert and, I don't know, meet some people you had something in common with? Nah, that's not going to happen.
And the article goes on. Early gatherings will likely have to follow strict social distancing guidelines, allowing only a limited % of venue capacity to attend events and requiring all attendees to wear face masks, potentially with hand sanitizing stations and even health screenings before entry.
Is there going to be a non-coward section? Will this be coward or non-coward? I'll pass on that tonight. I'm trying to quit.
Balls or no balls? Which section will you pay for? So that was Jennifer Horney, of all names, who's the director of epidemiology in the College Health Sciences at the University of Delaware, who said all of that.
Yeah, it's just so sad, nobody, that there is no freedom option on the table. There is no ballsy option on the table. It's all these companies are going with whatever it is that they're told to do. They're falling in lockstep with all these governor's orders, and it's just going to be an insane medical authoritarian society, and for God knows how long. It's really bad.
That's generally what corporations do. I'm hoping and I expect that there are some people who will behave very differently. And if I find out about a field and a party, or a party and a field, I'm going.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm not bringing a mask. I might bring some disinfectant and 30 years old in a bottle.
Or some bug spray if it's out in the woods or something, that kind of a thing. You want to be prepared, of course.
Well, I was thinking just a bottle of vodka, but it's a perfectly effective disinfectant.
That is a fact. A question that looms large is whether many people will feel comfortable attending amid a pandemic. Well, of course they won't. I mean, I wouldn't. I will. I wouldn't want to go to a concert like this. Dozens of tickets, all $20.
So you've got.
I wouldn't feel comfortable at a country show anywhere, but.
But you've got. So there's a couple sides to this. There's people like us that wouldn't want to go because we don't see this as the way a concert ought to be. Right. So it doesn't sound like fun to us. To the people on the other side, the people who are living in fear, it doesn't sound like fun to them either because they don't want to be around other people.
Right.
So you've got this sort of weird middle ground of the people who they'd really like to see some live music and they don't mind the fact that it won't be anything like any other concert they've ever been to, and they're not entirely paranoid to the point where they're staying completely at home. So that there is going to be a market for this. I did go to the Ticketmaster website. What did you call them?
Ticket Bastard.
Ticket Bastard website.
In the B.
And so it looks like maybe there's, I don't know, a few dozen tickets available to it. So, they've sold probably the majority of their tickets.
Really?
That's the way it looks.
Interesting.
The majority of their 25% maximum.
Right. Well, and that was as of May 7th. They said, dozens were still available. Did you say dozens are available?
I would say a few dozen.
Because that's what this
Yeah.
says. Dozens of tickets, all $20 were still available as of May 7th. So it's only the 11th now. So, and, generally door sales are a good percentage of
a concert.
What a venue is going to bring in.
Yeah, concert goers aren't known for planning in advance.
Yeah.
Right?
And, I mean, it sounds like they're going to have to plan in advance for this thing, though. Strict yet necessary precautions sound like a killjoy at an event that's supposed to be, well, joyful.
Yeah.
But what's more, not everyone now appreciates the virus exploits gathered people. I don't appreciate
Wait, what?
that.
What was the sentence?
It says, what's more, most everyone now appreciates that this virus exploits gathered people. I mean, I don't appreciate the virus. I don't appreciate the government's reaction to it.
It's just an awful sentence. The virus exploits people.
Yeah. And in groups or crowds, there will likely be infected people who don't know they're infected, meaning they're asymptomatic. Of course it does.
Be afraid.
This author really needs an education.
Well, that's the problem. They were educated. They went to government school.
Yeah.
They went to government college, and they were trained to believe everything the government says.
If you don't go to school, you're uneducated. If you do go to school, you're miseducated.
Yeah, I mean, this article just gets more and more ugly and talks about, violating all sorts of things that, I mean, I certainly don't want a health check. I don't want anybody taking my temperature when I go to a
quick prostate exam on the way in. It won't hurt you.
Turn around and cough, right? Here, put this thermometer.
No, don't cough, but turn around.
Right. Put this thermometer, somewhere where you would put a thermometer, right? Like what, and then what? These bouncers, these door people are going to have to be like medically trained now to do all this kind of thing. Like no venue's going to pay for that. Most music venues, if they're doing anything, remotely independent, don't have the money to pay people that much. You know what I mean? Generally, it's a tip-based industry, so I can't see this. I can't see this becoming a thing that goes well. They might be able to do it with something like country music, perhaps easy listening, but I don't see this being a thing with rock and roll. Let's go ahead.
Hard listening.
Let's go ahead and go to some of your calls and your thoughts. We have Crichton calling from Louisville, Kentucky. Crichton, you're on Free Talk Live. What's on your mind?
How's it going today, guys?
Hi, Crichton.
Life is good.
About 9 years ago, I called into this same show and told you guys about this novel thing called Bitcoin. I'm not sure that I was the first, but I was definitely one of the first.
Cool.
And
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm calling back because I listen to your show kind of off and on. I'm not consistent, and I've lately been listening again.
Okay.
And I've been hearing a lot of this talk about these alternative currencies that are trying to rise up and take Bitcoin's crown. And I've been doing a lot of research into this.
Yep.
And I was one of the first probably 200 people in the English-speaking world that actually heard the phrase Bitcoin at all.
Cool. So you must be really wealthy.
I was. Actually, I've told that story on this radio before, that I bet a huge amount of money of them, and I lost most of them. So I had at one point a life-changing amount of Bitcoin.
Yeah. Oh man.
And then I lost it.
Your life
but
changed,
that's
didn't
it?
So you really gambled away all your Bitcoin? That's a shame.
Not all of them.
Okay,
about
good.
80% of them.
All right. 20% of a life-changing amount is still pretty good.
Most of my money I spent on wine, women, and song, but the rest I just wasted.
So I'm not sure what your greater point is, but if you want,
I want to hear it. Yeah.
If you want to hang on the line for just a minute, Creighton, we'll bring you back after the break. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Hold on the line. 855-450 free like freedom. Have you lost a big chunk of your wealth in your lifetime? Did you lose some Bitcoin? Did you gamble it away? We'll have more from Crichton coming up. 855-450 free like freedom. This is Free Talk Live.
Free Talk Live is now on more than 200 radio stations nationwide. We've had more than 18 million podcast downloads, and we claim millions of listens a month. We're a multimedia ad venue with print, email, web, and terrestrial radio marketing platforms. We strive to have ad packages that cater to advertisers big and small. Contact me today at marketfreetalklive.com to see what we can do for you. Marketfreetalklive.com. If you're a local advertiser, contact this station. But if you can service a national audience, contact me, marketfreetalklive.com.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. Local.bitcoin.com.
Saddle up. It's new Dynavite for horses.
They're always on the move, always eating, grazing 17 to 20 hours a day.
In their natural state, they eat only grass.
Picture a pasture or a plain.
The nice big pasture that's very green.
The grasses and the different plants.
That's your basic forage.
I don't think there's anywhere on the planet where you have consistent, healthy pasture all year.
So we start supplementing with the hay and the grain. The grain has a lot of sugars in it, and the hay, the dried out hay, loses a lot of nutrients.
Curing under the sun, it loses about 80% of the beta-carotene, omega-3s, and vitamin E.
So Ed has figured out how to freeze-dry the greenness in the grass.
I said, why don't I make a supplement that's as close to healthy pasture as I could get?
All of the nutrients that are lost when the grass becomes the hay. I like Dynavite. It's simple, it's straightforward. My horses get what they need. I can see immediate results.
Check out new Dynavite for horses at Dynavite.com.
It doesn't take much, just one little scoop. I get my Dynavite from DINOVITE.com.
Why did you move to the Shire?
I moved here to the Shire because there's other people around who take liberty just as seriously as I do.
I moved to the Shire because I saw videos of people challenging authority and thought that I could get support myself. It called to me, like, do this, right now.
I wanted to be around people like me who got it, and once I got here, I knew there was nowhere else that I wanted to be.
I've always wanted to change the world, so I moved to the Shire to join people who were actually working towards doing the same thing.
The people here are awesome, loving, and positive. It was for the adventure and for the feeling of something important is happening here, and I just wanted to come to sort of be part of that.
Visit ShireSociety.com to read and sign the Shire Society Declaration and learn the reasons why, if you love liberty, you should immigrate to the Shire. Plus, connect with others via the forum at ShireSociety.com. That's ShireSociety.com. If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com to receive our usually weekly news updates by email. Plus, we have a Twitter account at twitter.freetalklive.com, and you can follow us on the decentralized Mastodon platform at toot.freetalklive.com. So please follow us at toot.freetalklive.com and sign up for our emails at news.freetalklive.com.
Do you want more businesses accepting Bitcoin Cash and Dash? Now with AnyPay, you earn passive income for every purchase at those businesses. Finally, a financial incentive to spread Bitcoin Cash and Dash. You made it happen, so you get the rewards. Download the AnyPay Cash Register app and add your cryptocurrency wallet addresses. Then install it at a real-life business and tell us what you did at anypayinc.com. anypayinc.com.
You're listening to the best liberty-oriented audio streamed around the clock, on the air, and online. This is the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
Welcome back. You are in the right place for the live Monday night edition of Free Talk Live. Our toll-free number here is 855-450-3733, 855-450-FREE like freedom. You can also get us on our Discord line at discord.lrn.fm. In the studio tonight, it's myself, the captain.
It's Ian.
And nobody.
And I wanted to tell you about AnyPay. Do you want more businesses accepting Bitcoin Cash and Dash? Because now with AnyPay, you can earn a passive income for every purchase at those businesses. Finally, a financial incentive to spread Bitcoin Cash and Dash. You made it happen, so you receive the rewards. Download the AnyPay Cash Register app, add your cryptocurrency wallet addresses, then install it at a real-life business, and then tell us what you did at anypayinc.com. That's anypayinc.com. And I think it's pretty incredible that those guys are, offering such a financial incentive to help spread the use of these cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin Cash and Dash.
I'm a fan.
We were speaking with Crichton. Crichton, are you still with us?
Yeah, he said he was an early Bitcoin adopter and called the show about it way back in the day. And you were listening to us talking about alternatives to Bitcoin. Do you mean like what they call altcoins, these competitors that are also cryptocurrencies? Is that what you're referring to?
Yes, Dash, Monero, etc. And you guys have, some of you guys, not all of you guys, and I know nobody's wearing his Bitcoin shirt today.
No, that's
I think that's Captain Kickass.
Yep.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry about that.
That's all right.
But some of you guys seem to be latched on to the idea that these altcoins are going to take over the market share of Bitcoin. And I am calling in specifically to tell you that is never going to happen. And it has
really? Why?
It has nothing to do with the technical superiority, because that was assumed very early on that a technically superior alternative as a cash payment system, a value transfer system, was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
It was integrated into the design of the blockchain to do that.
Yeah.
And what I'm talking about is called a side chain, where you integrate a separate currency that pegs itself to Bitcoin and occasionally links to a mined block.
Okay.
A very
I think
way.
we might be getting a little out into the weeds here. I don't, you have to remember you've got an audience full of people who don't even know really what a Bitcoin is.
Right,
So answer me this. I think you're completely wrong. I think that there will be many different ways of sending value, and that Bitcoin is going to need something about $3 transactions to send 50 cents for a cup of coffee if they want to ever get dominant again.
Well, right now I spent $3 to send a Bitcoin
transaction.
Huh?
But this is my point.
What's that?
That was designed into the system so that eventually an alternative currency that is superior and moving value would be used by everyone, and that Bitcoin would take its final role, its final form, as a store of value, as the gold to somebody else's silver. It was never intended to be used by the end user normally. It was intended to be used by
the difference between gold and a disused Bitcoin blockchain is there are purposes for gold. A blockchain that nobody is using just sucks up energy, and there's no reason to use it. So you're going to have to find a purpose for your gold. Can you make jewelry out of it?
Here's my question for you. Look, I don't pick a winner, okay? I don't know who's going to defeat Bitcoin someday. I don't know which coin it's going to be or how it's going to end up playing out or how soon or whatever. But I think nobody's got some good points here. But to your point there, Crichton, the title of Satoshi Nakamoto's white paper is Bitcoin, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. It doesn't say a peer-to-peer store of value system or a peer-to-peer electronic gold, just let it sit there system. It says electronic cash system. So how do you square that viewpoint of the creator of Bitcoin with what you're saying the point was now?
No, I square it because that was the point. The use as Bitcoin, as it has been used in the past, as that peer-to-peer system where individuals trade in it, that was a necessary step. But eventually, it was always known, way back in the first 2010, that Bitcoin did not and could not have the transaction volume to service everyone in the world. That was known. And there is a design system. It's not mentioned in the white paper, but there is a feature
Okay. Well, then
way
why,
too technical for the radio.
if it wasn't intended to serve people, then why couldn't they just open up the block size? It used to be there was no restriction on the block size, so it could have just grown to whatever level it needed to. I don't know if I agree with you that everybody knew that, because there were a lot of people back in the day
Not everybody knew that.
Huh?
That's what I'm getting to. The Bitcoin was an experiment in Austrian economic monetary theory.
Mm-hmm.
That's the core point, is that it was an experiment. And this was one of the experimental features of that was designed into it, that was meant to be and expected to be, that other currencies would rise up to become the coffee buying, the silver that you would trade in a daily environment.
Okay, is there any evidence of this, though? I mean, is this just your opinion?
This is the current narrative from the people who are what you would call Bitcoin maximalists, people who believe that Bitcoin is the one true currency. Would that describe you, Crichton? Are you a Bitcoin maximalist?
No, because I haven't followed any of that in 5 years or so.
Okay.
I'm not interrelated to that at all. I'm telling you that this was back then. This was a feature known about and randomly, rarely discussed.
Okay, why did he call it a electronic cash system, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system, if you're saying that the intention was for it to be like gold and not really move around a whole lot?
Because it's also intended for gold, like the banking system today, is restricted to the very, very wealthy. Bitcoin was never intended to be restricted. You should always have the ability to trade directly in Bitcoin if you wish, but there's no guarantee that that's not going to be expensive or slow.
Okay, you didn't answer my
but
question.
The security is high.
Yeah, you didn't answer my question.
Why? The question is, why does he call it a cash system?
Yes.
Because it had to be cash first.
Well, then if it was intended to not be cash, why didn't he make that clear?
But it is cash. Gold can be traded, and once was, by hand.
If I give somebody cash, I don't have to give them an additional $5 on top because I gave them $1. That's what you have to do with Bitcoin.
No.
I spent $8 to send a Bitcoin transaction today.
All right, let's talk about something related.
Meanwhile, I can send Bitcoin Cash for a fraction of a penny.
I can send Dash for a fraction of a penny.
Yeah,
Why would I want to send Bitcoin to anybody?
Okay, again, have you used lately a credit card?
Sure.
If you have, you did not use dollars. You used a dollar-pegged currency that's electronic.
All right, Crichton, we're going to have to thank you for the call. I appreciate your input and your insight. Feel free to
I think he's totally wrong.
Call again on another night. I look at it like, there's many different types of heavy metal, and, which one you're going to prefer depends on what you want to use it for. I think there's plenty of room for multiple currencies. 855-450, free like freedom. We got more coming up.
Remember when you first heard about Bitcoin? How long did it take you to realize this little project would soon change the world? Do you kind of wish you had gotten involved sooner? Well, now is your chance to be part of the next revolution in money. Intercoin is working to finally make crypto go mainstream. It's designed to be scalable enough to support everyday payments and even elections without the state. Bitcoin was originally supposed to be a peer-to-peer cash system, the way we would all pay one another without having to trust any third party. But instead, over time, it mostly became a store of value. That's because every 10 minutes, the Bitcoin network must put all transactions into a block, and that block can only hold so much. If crypto is to become mainstream, for everyone to use it in everyday payments, we need a new architecture, one that's as secure as Bitcoin while being far more scalable. Check out intercoin.org to find out more and maybe pick up some of those coins for yourself.
So the protection of life, liberty, and property is what the Free State Project is all about. But it's an effort to move 20,000 people who understand.
It's about demonstrating to the entire country
that, yeah, we can have a free market, a truly free market. Making it just a freer, great place to live.
It's the world's largest voluntarist libertarian community, and it's only getting bigger.
That's amazing, to be able to move to a place where other people passionately believe in being free and independent.
What the Free State Project is managing to do, though, is to put their money where their mouth is. It's physically getting up across the country and saying, let's go someplace and let's demonstrate the power of these ideas. There's a lot of kind of philosophy that surrounds liberty. There's a lot of thinking about it and talking about it. But here in New Hampshire, people are doing it.
101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire, a documentary by Free State Project early movers. Watch it free at 101reasonsfilm.com. 101reasonsfilm.com.
How many lawyers does it take to change a light bulb? None. They'd rather keep their clients in the dark. There are too many lawyer jokes to count. However, there are some lawyers with more noble intentions. At the Institute for Justice, we bring the light to our clients. We are a non-profit public interest law firm with clear values and principles. At IJ, we fight for those whose most basic rights are denied by the government. Visit our website today at ij.org.
LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
If you're looking for work, it's a process of elimination, and you're trying not to be eliminated. So here's a tip for making the cut, and this might seem subtle, but to the person interviewing you, it's not. There is a world of difference between applicants who convey, "I need a job," and those who simply ooze, "I want to work," especially in these lean times when many you're competing with will seem desperate in "I'll take anything" mode. If you convey specific interest in this job at this company, you will be conspicuous. Thus, the value of going to school on the company you're applying to before the interview. With money and attention so tight now, effective communication skills have never been more important. For more tips for job seekers and everyone else, hit survivalspeech.com. I'm Holland Cook.
Do you love Twitter? Make sure you favorite the LRN.FM Twitter account so you can receive our tweets at twitter.lrn.fm. That's twitter.lrn.fm.
Yes, it is Free Talk Live. Welcome back to the live Monday night edition. Our toll-free number is 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. You can also get us at discord.lrn.fm, join in the chats, and even get on the air through our call-in line. And with you in the studio tonight, it's myself, the captain.
It's Ian.
And nobody.
And we were talking in the previous segments with a gentleman who seemed to believe that Bitcoin was always intended to be a store of value, despite the fact that Satoshi Nakamoto called it a cash system. And I just wanted to say, because I didn't get a chance to say much during his call, that I look at the cryptocurrency like music. Right? There's going to be a whole different bunch of types, or a whole bunch of different types, right? Mm-hmm. You're going to have the thrash metal version. You're going to have the country and western version. You're going to have the smooth jazz version, right? You're going to have cryptocurrencies that cater to very specific things, specific markets, right? That's what happens when you get the language of value, right, now being able to be written with features, right? Money with features, right?
It's open source, too, so anybody that wants to can copy a thing and change the thing, and that's why right now, if you go over to CoinMarketCap, which is one of the myriad of websites that kind of tracks thousands of cryptos, they currently are tracking 5,454, so over 5,400 cryptocurrencies and tokens.
And this is called a market, right? You have a marketplace with competing currencies.
And that's only a fraction of them. That's only the ones they're tracking on this website. There's probably 10,000 more of them that are so small and insignificant that they can't get the attention of this website.
Well, let's go to more of your calls and your thoughts. We have somebody on the line that might know something about cryptocurrencies. Stephen, you're on Free Talk Live.
Hey, gentlemen.
Hey, Steve.
Hey, we can see you on Discord. I guess they added a video feature. Very nice. Very nice.
Well, let's talk about store of value.
Yeah.
And many of your listeners might be a bit confused about what the value of some of these different coins are, but they understand silver. They understand that silver has value, and it has had value for a long, long time.
Uh-huh.
Now, silver, I'm sure lots of you have tried to use silver as money before, but now there are big companies who are creating silver coins that are virtual coins that work just like Bitcoin, where you can trade, you can transfer them, pay people, spend them, and trade them just like cash on your phone.
Are you talking about one of these silver-backed stable coins?
I am talking about companies that are making 100% silver-backed coins, specifically the one coin that I'm rather delighted by, which is called AGX. Now, AG stands for silver in the periodic table. AGX is the coin, and each coin is backed fully by 1 gram of silver.
Okay, so I was going to ask you, you already answered my question here. Which one do you like? Because for the last several years, we go to these Bitcoin conferences, which I don't know when the next one's going to be, but we've been to a number of these things, and there's almost always one or two of these gold/silver-backed crypto tokens that are present there. And of course, I always have the same question: is where are you holding the silver? How can you guarantee that it's going to be safe? A lot of these companies have already failed at what they've attempted to do. So does this AGX have a track history, or is it brand new? What do you know about them?
Well, I've been following this AGX for a couple of years. They're by a company called Load. And I heard about this company at Anarchapulco a few years back. And they're really cool. And the reason I think they're the best is because they really want their silver-backed coin to be used as currency, not just for holding or saving, but they want it to be used at all the businesses that you love, where you can currently use Bitcoin Cash and Dash.
Interesting. So with this type of a coin, and pardon the layman version question, but I think it's an important one. I've seen these coins, and they claim to be backed by this precious metal in some way, shape, or form. Can I, if I own one of these coins, can I actually go somewhere and get the silver?
The way it works is that people actually bring them the silver to be stored. So this company has been they've been in the silver storage business for decades, I believe. They have millions of dollars of silver stored for their customers that they've been storing for a long time. Now, their customers said, hey, wouldn't it be great if we could use our silver instead of just store it away? So they partnered with some awesome people to create a coin, a digital coin, where you can trade and spend your silver like money.
So have you done this? Have you sent silver off to this company and gotten the equivalent amount of tokens?
No, I haven't sent silver, but I am working with them to make silver a payment reality in our economy.
Nice. Now, I've actually got 25 grams of a different gold back crypto that I bought from you. So obviously, you're AnyPay Gold. So is this going to replace AnyPay Gold?
Oh no, this is a large company who has been in the silver storage business for a long time, and they are very excited about making their customers' silver turn into money.
Groovy.
And is this going to be, I think a bunch of our listeners might be familiar with fractional reserve banking, right? In the traditional banking industry, the banks only have to hang on to, say, 10% of...
I think they got rid of that. I think it's now 0%.
0%?
Yeah, as of COVID.
Yeah. So with this silver company, is it truly a one-for-one, or, will they be able to issue more coins than actual silver that they have stored somewhere?
Each coin, it represents 1 gram weight of a measured and vaulted verifiable silver bullion.
Very cool.
Meaning that the respectable companies in this field have an auditor, right? They've got some third party that goes into the vault on a monthly or quarterly or whatever basis, and they make sure that the books add up, right? Like the number of silver grams in the vault is what is, out there in the field, in the crypto, and that all makes sense. To me, the biggest risk is, of course, government raid, and that's always going to be my biggest objection to these backed currencies, because what would stop a government gang from coming in there and just taking all their silver? Nothing.
I think the reason with this company is that they are in a very progressive financial jurisdiction called Liechtenstein, which is actually one of the top most well-respected financial jurisdictions in the entire world. It is a European country that is a really great place. I think it's actually a monarchy.
Yeah, isn't that the one where there's like a prince and he's supposed to be kind of libertarian?
He's awesome. They're great. They're really good. They have business and finance in mind, and they love freedom.
And isn't it true that Liechtenstein doesn't make it onto the list of the, those studies that we do where there's like the 180 countries and they rank them economically? Liechtenstein's not on that list because they have too small of a population. There's only a few thousand or tens of thousands.
They don't qualify for the study or whatever because they're too small?
Yeah, exactly.
They have a very small, very wealthy population.
So then this begs the question, of course, Stephen, being that you're, the founder of AnyPay, or one of the founders anyway, I know you're very passionate about all of this. This, I assume, will be making its way to AnyPay?
Yeah, this was actually my first dream when I started AnyPay. I wanted people to be able to spend silver at regular stores. That was it.
I've always wanted that as well, and I've been predicting the coming of stable coins that you want to use for a long time, so I hope this is the first one.
I am excited. Any final thoughts, Stephen?
There's a whole market of competing silver coins, and everyone will be able to choose which one they want, or they can choose their favorite Bitcoin. I think it's very exciting.
Anypayinc.com. Check them out. They're great.
Thanks for the call, Stephen.
LODE.1.
All right. Got you.
Attention gardeners, if you need to grow nutritionally dense vegetables or medicinal herbs this year, listen, because a bioactive superfood for plants is now available. This all-natural superfood for plants is so effective at producing maximum plant growth in minimum time that it almost forces plants to grow, even under the worst light and soil conditions. It's called Proto-Grow, and it's truly remarkable. Vegetables grow faster and contain more bioavailable vitamins and trace minerals. Plants that rarely bloom will flower constantly. Sickly plants become vibrantly alive. Medicinal herbs become super potent. Flowers become more vivid right before your very eyes. Proto-Grow also improves the taste quality of all your garden vegetables. That's because it's more than just an all-natural superfood for plants. It's a proprietary blend of bioactive sea nutrients that contain the basic building blocks of life itself, which is why Proto-Grow even renews your garden by increasing the microorganisms in the soil. Learn more at growlikecrazy.com. That's growlikecrazy.com. Get special pricing for network listeners right now at growlikecrazy.com.
You know what's really smart?
Wash your hands frequently, practice social distancing, and stay home if told to do so.
You know what's really dumb?
To ignore your immune system.
Right now, more than ever, your health depends on a strong immune system.
The experts at Immunocorp will give you their 7-step guide to immunity for life, free.
Why? Because we want you to be smart and healthy.
Simply call 800-446-3063 or click immunityforlife.com.
Immunocorp has been producing the world's leading immune system products for more than 2 decades.
To get your free 7-step guide to immunity for life, call 800-446-3063. 800-446-3063.
Be smart. Don't ignore your immune system. Your life depends on it.
Call 800-446-3063 or click immunityforlife.com. Immunityforlife.com.
Free Talk Live.
Some old codger Republican is screaming at his radio.
This is not a democracy.
Yeah,
we don't live in a democracy. We live in a republic. And to that guy, just take a deep breath. Tell me the operative difference between a democracy and a republic.
Well, we elect representatives in the republic.
That's true.
And you respect rights.
A direct democracy certainly is a democracy where everybody gets a vote. But tell me about this respecting rights thing. What other republic, in fact, respects rights?
The People's Republic of China.
Right. So this idea that we live in a republic is really just fallacious. It's just some term that someone's come up with. In Greek, democracy means of the people. Republic in Latin means for the people or something.
Don't forget the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. That's a republic.
Right. There's another republic. I mean, republics are all over. Take a pill. Republic means nothing.
Free Talk Live, 7 nights a week from 7 to 10 Eastern, live on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
The LRN.FM social media channels have been revamped. We've eliminated Facebook and focused on other platforms like Twitter and Mastodon, the decentralized alternative to Twitter. On our accounts, you'll find posts from multiple LRN.FM show hosts together in one place. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm, or better yet, move to the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm. I think you'll like it. Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
You can put the Liberty Radio Network on the air in your area. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how. Broadcast.lrn.fm.
Yes, this is Free Talk Live. Welcome back, everybody. It's the live Monday night edition. 855-450-FREE, like freedom. 855-450-3733. That is our phone number. You can take control of the airwaves and talk about, well, whatever you want. And with you in the studio tonight, it's
Ian.
And nobody.
And I am your host, the Reverend Captain Kickass, and I wanted to tell you that Intercoin is the next step in the evolution of money. Just as the internet is a global network that connects local networks, Intercoin is a global currency platform that enables communities around the world to issue and manage their own currency to circulate among their local population. Intercoin enables fintech innovation on the local community level, leading to stronger communities, greater sustainability, less poverty, and more productivity. Intercoin is attempting to regain some of our freedoms that are threatened on the internet and in meat space. We think that is important here on Free Talk Live. So important that Free Talk Live accepted $40,000 worth of Intercoin tokens from Intercoin Inc. for advertising. If you think freedom is important too, check out Intercoin at intercoin.org. You can invest in this project and potentially make big gains, or just be involved and perhaps shape its future. That's intercoin.org. And I wanted to just ask real quick, Ian, we recently were out and about doing stuff, and you were able to make a payment to a restaurant using cryptocurrency, a part of something that AnyPay has, before we even got to the place. So you called in the order, and you were like, "I'm going to send the payment over right now." Can you tell us a bit about that? Because I know that's part of AnyPay's bit.
Yeah, it's a new thing they've got, and I think we can talk about it now. It's called NRG City, like Energy City, but it's spelled NRGCTY.com. And when you go there, it will try to do a little GPS zeroing in on where you are, but if it can't, it'll just show you all the cities that AnyPay is installed in. You can click on the city that you want, so whether it's Keene, New Hampshire, or Bangkok, Thailand, or whatever, you click on the city that you want. It then shows you all the businesses that accept payments via AnyPay in that city. You can click on the one that you want to pay. So like you're in Keene, I went to Thirsty Owl today. You can just go there, pay, and you type in the amount that you have to pay, and you pay your tab there without even setting foot on the premises.
That is a kick-ass feature, pun intended.
Yeah. They did a good job with it. It's and it came out right in time. It's actually something they developed before COVID-19, and it turns out it's actually comes in real handy. during this situation where some businesses won't even let you inside.
Nice. Well, we have a Discord caller on the line who wanted to talk about, well, we'll let him say, Raven's Flock. You are on Free Talk Live. What's on your mind?
I'd like to refute a common argument I'm hearing against, the idea of staying quarantined for COVID-19, and one I'm frankly getting a little tired of hearing.
Okay, what's that?
I've made my stance quite clear. I think that although I'd like to live in a voluntary society at this moment in time, people are not smart enough to live in that society.
Well, there's an easy solution to that. It's called Darwin. They're not smart enough, they die, and then they're not there to be a problem.
Well, here's the argument I keep hearing. I keep hearing from people around me, well, if you don't want to go out, you can stay home. I'm going to continue to go out, and if you don't want to get sick, you can stay home.
Yeah.
But there's one thing that a lot of these individuals are missing. There are people that can have accidents at home. And which hospitals are they going to be going to? The same ones that the idiots are clogging with COVID cases.
Well, they should really go to the cowardly hospitals. There should be special hospitals that they pay extra to be in a hospital that's never had any sick people in it.
That's great. That's great. But we don't have hospitals like that at this moment in time.
It's there as a market opportunity for you. You need to build that for yourself so you never have to go to a hospital where
in the middle of a
sick.
pandemic.
Hey, man,
that's great.
Hospitals are a high-risk place to go before the pandemic. There's all kinds of nasty things in hospitals. It's a good place to go and get sick, and they've always been that way. So this is no different.
Obviously, but when you purposely increase the amount of people that are infected with an ailment, you increase the likelihood that somebody is going to contract a viral infection out of a hospital. Now, I've caught viruses from the hospital before. I've gotten the flu from a head injury visit I had. However, I don't think it's a smart idea for people to go out and congregate and purposely increase the hospitalized population just so they can stuff themselves silly at TGI
they need stuff to do in the hospitals. They're dancing in the hallways, making videos. They have nothing else to do.
They have nothing else to do? That depends on where you live. Some
So what
hospitals
you're
are clearly
saying
busier
is
than others.
because some people are afraid of because let me see if I understand you. The people who are so afraid they're staying inside in their homes are afraid that further afraid that if they get sick in their homes or hurt themselves, because accidents do happen in the home, that they hurt themselves in their home, they're then going to have to go to the hospital, which will increase their likelihood to contract the thing that they're already afraid of. And we should all change our lives because of their fear. That's what you're saying?
I think the way you're framing it is poor, and you're purposely framing it that way to be facetious. No, there are elderly individuals out there who could have a heart attack or could fall and break their wrist and have an ailment they would have otherwise gotten over. However, since the elderly are more susceptible to complications from COVID-19, if they go into the hospital and they have a heart attack and the recovery would have otherwise gone well,
maybe they should just put a mask on when they go to the hospital, since that'll solve everything for them.
That's not going. Nobody ever said that would solve anything. And again, that's once again being disingenuous. Nobody ever said putting a mask on would stop you from ever catching COVID-19.
Well, I thought the N90. Are you saying N95 masks don't stop the virus?
After you breathe for 20 or 30 minutes, moisture gets into the mask, and the virus has an easier path towards getting in. Masks are
I guess you're
more
just going to die.
Protect other people.
Nice knowing you.
It's not that you're going.
Well,
it's not that you're going to die. It's
that
simply that you don't want to increase the risk of people getting severely
I want to do whatever I want to do,
ailment.
and what are you going to do about it?
Yeah.
I'm going to say you're a jerk.
You see,
Fine.
my answer is
blow me.
If you want to be, if you think you're going to make me change my life so that you're not afraid, I'll give you whole new reasons.
It has nothing to do with me. There are other people out there that
I don't care.
I want to ask you, Ravensflack, was your position identical to the position you've stated tonight pre-COVID-19?
Absolutely. When it came to the flu, a couple years ago, when the H3N2 outbreak, which was underreported, was going on.
No, I mean just in general,
not
for
congregate.
anything. Like, would you recommend that people, don't go to the hospital for fear of catching something?
I would recommend don't go to the hospital needlessly. But as said, if you congregate at the local shopping center, you are going to increase the likelihood of an increased population with COVID-19. What that does is it, by definition, increases the hospitalized population, which makes it more dangerous. And not only does it make it more dangerous for people that are visiting the hospital, you're taking away hospital resources from people that might have subopioid hemorrhage or other ailments.
Right, except none of that has happened. In fact, the hospitals are laying people off because they don't have enough to do. They've been overstaffed.
Do you ever think that's because people are staying home?
Of course that's why.
Nobody's going to the hospital, and nobody's going to the hospital because they have the plague, because there isn't really a plague going on. There's just it's not the big deal that it's been made out to be.
Right.
It's not. Nobody ever said it was a plague. It's simply a pandemic. And if you don't take the pandemic seriously, when there's an R0 factor of 2 to 6, you're crazy.
I don't even know what that means.
It doesn't. Thanks for the call tonight, Ravensflag.
I don't care.
It doesn't even qualify as a pandemic. If you look up the actual, what even the government itself determines is a pandemic, if you look at what has happened with COVID-19, it does not meet the definition of pandemic.
Yeah, I mean, the death rate so far has been 1 out of every 5,000 Americans.
Yeah.
That's not big enough to change your life over. I'm sorry.
Yeah. We've seen... just Saturday, I believe, I talked about Woodstock being held in 1968 amidst a quote pandemic, unquote. Yep. Another one that didn't quite, but the government didn't shut anything down. There was no social distancing.
Nope.
There was no fear. Hospitals didn't really do anything.
If you got sick, you got sick.
Nobody set up any field hospitals. Hospitals weren't overwhelmed otherwise from this, as near as we can tell. And it just really was a non-factor in people's lives. And what we have now is, as Ian likes to put it, the medical authoritarian hellscape, right? Where you now have government pretending that they are everybody's doctor and telling everybody what the healthy thing is to do, despite the fact that they're a bunch of crooks and liars.
And my doctor never tried to force me at gunpoint to change my life. It's not like the government where it's like, do this or we'll kill you or we'll lock you up or we'll take your life one way or the other.
You know what's not healthy? Fascism.
Definitely
Socialism.
Not healthy, man. Definitely not healthy. And, I have this article that I brought in tonight from NPR. As hospitals lose revenue, more than 1 million healthcare workers lose their jobs. So they're not busy. They're not overwhelmed. I don't know what else to say.
Another aspect of Darwinism, if a species gets too populous, something's going to happen and make them die till they're not.
And it's okay.
855-450 free like freedom. Would you rather be free or in an authoritarian hellscape? More coming up.
Gold has definitely been on the move recently, and there is no more secure investment historically. McIlvaney ICA has been helping people take delivery of precious metals and find storage options for decades. They've helped thousands of investors with their precious metal IRAs. Call ICA today for your free portfolio review at 800-525-9556 or download their free report online at ICAGoldSilver.com to learn how you can double your gold and silver ounces even within an IRA. 800-525-9556. ICAGoldSilver.com.
The next generation wallet is coming from Divvy. In just a few taps, you'll be able to send, earn, spend, and exchange digital money in seconds. Send money around the globe with only a swipe. Instantly exchange between Divvy, Bitcoin, and fiat right in the mobile app and withdraw directly to your bank account. Divvy already offers the first one-tap solution for earning passive income with crypto. Multi-tiered masternodes allow everyone to partake in the network. Visit DivvyProject.org. DivvyProject.org. I'm crazy about My Magic Mud. This is the most important oral care product created this millennium, and I'm not kidding. We all have different opinions on politics and issues, but we all have mouths. And I want yours to be as clean as possible, with teeth as bright as they were meant to be. I will never be without My Magic Mud. It's a little surprising, but man, does it work. If you only listen to one thing I say ever, go to mymagicmud.com and get 20% off with code FTL. mymagicmud.com, code FTL.
There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and our main feed that includes everything. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 3 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for Liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with the SNLS Network and listeners like you. Online at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,704, silver at $15.69, and Bitcoin is trading around $8,644. Today's gold, silver, and Bitcoin prices are brought to you by Brave Botanicals. High-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven. The Liberty Beat and Brave Botanicals believe so strongly in the power of kratom, we're giving it away for free. Just go to libertybeat.news/free kratom. This is the Liberty Beat at snlsnetwork.com. In the news, a team from the University of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, has developed automated computer facial recognition software that they claim can predict with 80% accuracy and no racial bias whether a person is likely going to be a criminal, purely by looking at a picture of them. Minpress News reports it's a worrying use of words the team uses in their own press release, as they move from referring to those the software recognizes as being likely criminals to just criminals, in the space of just one sentence, suggesting they are confident in the discredited racist pseudoscience they appear to have updated for the 21st century. Public reaction to the project was less than enthusiastic, judging by comments left on Facebook, which included that societies have been trying to push the idea of born criminals for centuries. Ever wonder where we find all the news to report right here on the Liberty Beat? Visit snls.news to get the world's most censored media published all in one place. Save yourself from the endless time spent searching for reliable alternative media. SNLS News makes it quick and easy. No ads, no clickbait, just raw headlines, 24 hours a day. Visit snls.news and get informed today without the corporate media spin. Your news now continues. Adeline and Robert Hart and their 2 children had harmed no one and broken no laws when heavily armed militarized SWAT deputies with the Johnson County, Kansas Sheriff's Department stormed their home like it was an ISIS compound. The hero deputies were searching for evidence of marijuana production and use, but they found none because the Harts don't use or produce marijuana. They do grow vegetables, and they also drink tea. Activist Post reports the Harts and their 2 children were held at gunpoint and nearly killed for purchasing supplies for their vegetable garden and drinking tea. After they were seen buying gardening supplies, cops rummaged through their trash and mistook tea leaves for weed, sparking probable cause for the raid. According to Reason, the couple, whose home was raided in 2012 after sheriff's deputies claimed that the loose tea found in the trash was marijuana, will receive $150,000 for their trouble under a settlement agreement with the Johnson County Sheriff's Office. For those who have lost their jobs during the coronavirus lockdown, it appears a whole new sector of jobs is opening up across the country. Cities and states are seeking contact tracers and disease investigators to track down anyone who may have COVID-19 or anyone who may have come in contact with people diagnosed with the virus. Activist Post reports there are multiple job postings on Indeed.com. Job titles include Contact Tracer, Contact Tracing Supervisor, COVID-19 Case Investigator, and Communicable Disease Investigator. While some may find the positions to be necessary for public health, others find them invasive and meddlesome. One of the most worrisome aspects is what kind of power is held by the tracers and investigators. If they feel someone is not quarantining properly and they report that person, what happens next? Ventura County, California officials claimed they would remove people suffering from COVID from their homes if there was only one bathroom, a claim they've since walked back after public outrage ensued. Support for the Liberty Beat is brought to you by the Homestead Guru. The Homestead Guru is an educational website offering tips, tools, news, stories, and commentary on everything homesteading. Topics include green homes, gardening, animal husbandry, do-it-yourself, home remedies, alternative energy, survivalism, unschooling, and more. Those details are found online at thehomestead.guru. This is the Liberty Beat, powered by the SNLS Network at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
They started with Google Glass, and now the engineers behind Google have created a new body part to strap gadgets onto. They're calling it the flange, and the new synthetic skin appendage fits between the shoulder blades into a flat surface capable of holding a wide array of new gadgets for Google to hawk to consumers. While unveiling the innovation today, Google CEO Larry Page said, quote, "The possibilities for the number of completely pointless gadgets to strap, bind, and stick to your body are now endless." Early adopters are already raving about the synthetic body part.
It overheats and burns my skin pretty bad when I have it on, but I'm really getting to like it.
I'm actually thinking of getting a second one installed.
Critics are cautioning the tech world to not hail the flange as an achievement yet, since several users have reported problems with the device permanently grafting to their spinal column if worn overnight. Coming up next, Doritos unveils new e-Doritos that come in JPEG form whenever you're hungry.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
Welcome back to Free Talk Live, the live call-in radio show where you can take control of the airwaves and talk about whatever you want. It's the live Monday night edition. With you tonight, it's myself, the Captain.
Hey, it's Ian.
And nobody.
And we've been talking a lot about a lot of things, really, tonight. Our previous segment, we had a caller who was arguing somehow that it sounded like fear needed to be prioritized for him, for everybody else, because he felt that, well, people are generally too stupid to live out their own lives with choice. And I don't necessarily agree with that.
Yeah, he seems to want the rest of the world to bear the expense of making itself a safe space for him. And I, for one, have no intention of going to any expense to make somebody else's life safer. It's not my job.
If it's your preference to be safer, then it's also your responsibility to bear the expense to make your life safer.
It's going to cost more.
Yeah. You know, and that's fine if that's what you want to do and how you want to go about life. You should be free to do just exactly that. But at no point should you be free to force that upon anybody else, regardless of their intellect level. So I just wanted to get that off my chest.
I would tend to agree. This idea that, everybody else is too stupid to make their own decisions, so I have to make decisions for all of them, is just an absurdity. Anybody with any brains, for one thing, isn't going to expect the rest of the world to let them control them.
Yeah. In a previous segment tonight, we talked about an attempt at holding a concert, but with some very different ramifications, some very different rules about what you had to do and be subjected to.
Social distancing.
In order to attend this. And Ian, you had brought in another story that also sort of reveals how another section of the market and our lives is likely going to change. Do you want to tell us more about that?
Yeah. Mark, who's one of our co-hosts, he called me today asking about a conference that we went to last year. There was Freedom Fest that happened out in Vegas. And I don't know if you've heard, but Vegas is basically a ghost town now. There's some really striking photos that some photographers have taken of, empty streets and empty airports and just really bad. And so there's Freedom Fest they're supposed to be trying to plan this thing for this year. And it's like almost unbelievable that they're even bothering to try. I can't imagine they could even find a venue at this point that's willing to even have whatever negative publicity would come from having an event like that there. So I imagine they're going to have a tough time. But there's another event that happened, which was called Anarcho Vegas, that coincided with Freedom Fest. It happened like the Sunday after the end of Freedom Fest, so it kind of piggybacked on that. And that's more of a smaller event. Freedom Fest is thousands of people. It's a massive event in its like 20th year. And Anarcho Vegas, I think its first year was last year.
Okay.
And so very, very small. Maybe there was 200 people at Anarcho Vegas and 2,000 people at Freedom Fest. And so the Anarcho Vegas people want to do a thing, and they won't have as tough a time finding a venue because it's smaller, so they're going to have more options if there are some. And so he was asking me, well, what's it going to take to attend this event?
Right.
And, if we like an event enough, we'll waive our normal fees, right? Like we'll do it for the cost of the travel, basically.
Right.
And we liked Anarcho Vegas. So I'm like, well, presuming we can travel to Vegas, I'm willing to go. I just don't know if I'll be able to travel if they're going to come up with some sort of new, you must have a vaccine certificate in order to get on an airplane, or that you have to wear a mask in order to get on an airplane. I'm done.
What sort of cockamamie rules are they going to have?
Travel. There are other ways to travel.
I'm talking about
you
flying.
Can get in your car and drive.
I'm not going to drive across the country for 5 days or however long it takes just to go to a conference.
And not to mention, what kind of crap is the venue going to require, right? Because these things are generally held at some sort of a conference center or some sort of rented venue. So what are they going to require for you to just even attend?
So, there's a story in Forbes today about what's it going to be like in airports. What is the future of air travel in this insane medical authoritarian state in which we find ourselves?
And we already know that airports and the air travel industry has already been the target of government largesse and control. So
it's going to get even worse.
I'm not looking forward to you telling me about this, but lay it on me, bro.
And I don't think this is going to address the airlines' health, their financial health, but as they start to fail, you're going to see the government come in with bailouts and probably part ownership of the airlines, nationalization of the airlines, worst case situation. So it's going to get bad, especially if the revenues stay down. There's another story in the St. Petersburg or TampaBay.com that St. Pete Clearwater International Airport has their passengers rate decline by 97%.
97%?
Yeah.
I mean, are you even a business at that point?
April of 2019, they saw 205,000 passengers in April of 2019, and in April of 2020, it was down to 5,799 of them. So there's a serious revenue problem. But here's what the latest is from Forbes. They say that once airports and borders are open again and people are able to fly freely, a process already in play as airports of all sizes around the world ready strategies to ensure healthy air travel. How much are you ready to change your flying habits? As much as was required after 9/11? Less? More? Considering some of the changes already happening and the many more recommended before airports can reopen safely to commercial routes, experts are referring to the coronavirus pandemic as, quote, the new terrorism, unquote, triggering the biggest crisis
the new fake crisis that the government is exploiting? Yes, it is the new terrorism.
Did airlines actually close? Why are they saying airlines are going to reopen? I thought airlines remained open.
Airports they're saying here. And yes, they did. They are open. They're just, not serving near as many people. So they're going to put these provisions in to try to coax people back to flying, right? Like, oh, it's safe now. Here, look at all the things we're going to have you do to prove how safe it is.
Wrap yourself in bubble wrap.
Let's start with the entire process of checking in for flights, which some calculate it could now take up to 4 hours. So they've been telling you to arrive like an hour and a half or 2 hours early. Now they're going to say 4 hours and will involve social distancing, sanitation of passengers and luggage, wider spaces for various lines, and waiting to board. 9 out of 10 experts expect slower turnarounds between flights due to the need of thoroughly cleaning the cabins and following sanitary measures at airports. In the short run, though, it's expected that reduced passenger numbers in airlines traveling to a smaller pool of destinations may reduce the delays. Among the steps under consideration will include no cabin bags.
What, like no carry-on?
That's what that sounds like to me.
That's what it sounds like to me, too.
No lounges. No automatic upgrades. No mandatory face masks, surgical gloves, self-check-in, self-bag drop-off, immunity passports, on-the-spot blood tests.
Yo, papers, blood tests? Tests?
These are proposals. That's not a done deal yet. They're talking about this. And this sounds crazy, sanitation disinfection tunnel. So that's where they spray you with all that stuff we were talking about before.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's real good for your health to inhale all that. That's got to be great. Digital technologies and automation will play a critical role in the future of air travel. The need to reduce, quote, touch points, unquote, at airports implies mandatory use of biometric boarding that allows passengers to board planes with only their face as a passport.
It would be sad if they do implement some sort of on-the-spot blood testing. I've been predicting for some years now, particularly with the TSA and all that kind of a thing, that at some point local police, in order to prove DUI with marijuana, right, because you can't prove DUI with marijuana with using a breathalyzer, that they would be at some point, with all the states legalizing marijuana, having police now do like field blood tests.
They had that years ago
to
in
see
Utah.
if you're high. And so it would be really frightening if it came to airports, because if it comes to if it comes to even one thing, we know that all the rest of the government agencies are going to follow suit, and it will eventually be implemented there too.
Yeah, well, once they've got got your blood, they can test it for whatever they want.
Yep. They want your blood. Government is a vampire. This is a fact. They are a leech on the face of society, sucking your blood.
There's more proposals coming up.
This is Free Talk Live, 855-450-FREE.
I have a chocolate cocker spaniel named Lady and a blackmouth cur, and it's a lot of responsibility owning a dog. My dogs don't have any health problems because they're eating what they need to eat.
DINOVITE.com.
Dynovite is like pouring a multivitamin right onto their food. We'll be scooping our Dynovite, then squirting the liquid chops and the fish oil. They start salivating.
You won't believe how happy your dog will be.
I get my Dynovite at DINOVITE.com.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
Got shaving irritation? Shave Secret shaving oil can help stop it. Shave Secret doesn't cost much and is an all-American product. My name is Chuck Howard, and I developed Shave Secret and pioneered its use starting back in 1991. Ingrown hairs drove me nuts for years. Shaving oil changed all that. Why put up with ingrown hairs, bumps, red rash, nicks, and cuts? Shave Secret provides men and women with what we believe is the best shave ever. Our proprietary blend of 100% natural base and essential oils, plus a hint of menthol, was designed to help eliminate shaving irritations like ingrown hairs, bumps, red rash, nicks, and cuts. We'll lose those shaving irritations. Available at Super Walmart, H-E-B, Wegmans, Giant Eagle, Discount Drug, Navy and Marine Exchanges, Amazon, and ShaveSecret.com. Use the code FTL for Free Talk Live and get a discount. Shave Secret, the best shave ever.
The political world is a maddening cesspool of corruption and lies. Nobody tells the truth. Nobody keeps campaign promises. Nobody obeys the Constitution. Nobody puts the people first. How can we ever escape this web of tyranny? Vote for nobody.
Hi. My name is Nobody. I'm running for governor of New Hampshire because nobody knows how to live your life better than you do, and nobody deserves that kind of power. I want to put you back in control of your money, your lifestyle, your work, your body, and your life. Nobody should rule you but you. New Hampshire convicts many people of so-called crimes that should never have been prosecuted. If elected, I will pardon every victimless crime in New Hampshire history. This includes drug, gambling, prostitution, gun, and driving offenses. Nobody should have a criminal record when they have not harmed anybody.
Wouldn't it be nice to have nobody telling you what to do? Learn more at electnobody.com. electnobody.com.
What if you want to hear the latest episode of Free Talk Live, but all you have is your phone, you forgot to download our archive, and you have no data connection? You can call our Listen line at 641-793-0191. That's a long-distance number, so you may incur charges. If not, listen as long as you want. 641-793-0191. The Free Talk Live Listen line, 641-793-0191.
There are basically two types of advertising, direct response and branding. Radio's great for direct response with its low cost to listener ratio, but audio can't be beat for branding, which is a longer term endeavor. You want to be the first thing that someone thinks of when they think about your product or service. If you have a local business that you want kept top of mind in your community, call the station. If you need national reach, Free Talk Live's got around 200 radio stations, millions of monthly listening sessions, can suit all budgets, and if we don't think we're right for you, we'll tell you. Email me, mark@freetalklive.com.
Help get LRN.FM into more ears. Visit promote.lrn.fm for a free bumper sticker, flyers, banners, graphics, and more. Promote.lrn.fm.
Welcome back, everybody, to the live Monday edition of Free Talk Live. Do you have a case of the Mondays? Corporate accounts payable, Nina speaking. Just a moment. Free Talk Live, 855-450-FREE. Like freedom, that's 855-450-3733. With you tonight, it's myself, the Captain.
It's Ian.
And nobody.
And I wanted to tell you that the next generation wallet is coming from Divvy. In just a few taps, you'll be able to spend, earn, store, and exchange digital money in seconds. Divvy says you'll be able to send money around the globe in only a swipe and instantly exchange between Divvy, Bitcoin, and fiat right in the mobile app and withdraw directly to your bank account. There's no need to wait, though, as Divvy already offers the first one-tap solution for earning passive income with their multi-tiered masternodes, allowing anyone to earn by supporting the Divvy network. When the new Divvy wallet launches, because of Divvy's relationship with Western Union, Divvy will be in 200 countries, including the United States. You can learn more at divvyproject.org. That's D-I-V-I project.org. So we talked a little bit earlier about how it looks like the music concert-going industry is going to change. And then, Ian, you brought in an article that was talking about how, well, taking a flight or going to the airport is going to change. And, well, I found it rather disturbing, particularly the part about the immunity passport.
Yeah, whatever that is.
This is a new phrase that I'm going to guess, just taking a stab in the dark, as we hear these new vernaculars become invented by these government goons. I'm going to guess we're going to hear that one again.
Oh, yeah. I think you're right. There's more, too, but I think we should get to whoever that is on the line.
Let's do that. Good call. Thanks for having my back. As soon as my mouse cooperates.
He's working on it, folks. It's there. You just can't see it.
There we go. All right.
And the monkey pushes the button.
Monkey pushes the button. I am the monkey. I push the button. We have Mike calling from Gold Bar, Washington. Mike, you're on Free Talk Live.
Hey, you guys. Captain.
Hi,
Captain, how you doing?
Good, brother.
You know, I'm finally glad that there actually is nobody to vote for president. Is that correct?
Well, you can vote for me for president. I'm not running, but write me in. There's a lot of jobs in government that nobody
there's
should
nobody
do.
to vote for. Because there's really nobody to vote for, so then I might as well write you in then, right?
There you go.
You could. I'm just going to vote for the Libertarian. But yeah, if you think nobody is the man for the job, I can't say you're right.
I just feel at this point like I don't even know if I want to participate in voting anymore. But anyway,
yeah, it won't make a difference either way.
Well, Mike, you could always just move to New Hampshire.
I don't think I'm ever going to go into the VA hospital again without being treated like Will Smith and his family on I Am Legend. I'm almost positive I'm going to have some kind of a new pair of dog tags or something. I think it's going to actually come to that. Honestly, within the next few years, if we have like another outbreak, I think people are going to be tagged or have some kind of a travel card, period. I think that's what's going to happen.
Your papers,
but I think
please.
For now, while these airports and stuff and airlines are going to try to rob you out of your hard-earned money because they have a safe flight all of a sudden, $3,000 to get to Vegas. I think people should hang out until they're begging for your business because they have screwed people for so many years. This is a good time to get back. A lot of businesses are begging for your business right now. They didn't do you a favor when everything was fine, and now they're begging you to come back and buy this and buy that or borrow this or whatever it is. And I think people should realize how long they've got along with a lot less here for a while. Maybe they should just go with a lot less for a little while longer until people are begging for your business.
Yeah. Hey, Mike, if you really wanted to vote for nobody, you could move to New Hampshire, and then you could vote for him in the gubernatorial process.
Do you got room for it? Do you got room for a one-legged old man in the studio?
Do we have to keep you in the studio?
Yeah, I mean, can we just keep you
I
out
would
the...
love to live in the studio. Wouldn't that be great? Like have a doghouse.
Can we just keep you out back?
Oh, and by the way, Captain, I did actually listen to one of your videos. Very cool stuff.
Oh, thanks, man.
I know you didn't. I know you didn't find time for mine, and I'm just playing with you. But
I went
like
and
that
looked,
parody
and
thing.
I didn't find yours, so resend.
I know. I probably did it wrong. It's okay. I'm half blind. I'm just messing with you, feller. You have a great night, all of you guys.
Thanks for the call, man.
Yeah, anytime, Mike.
You're
Thanks
a good
a lot.
caller, but I don't think I want you replacing my dog. She's way cuter, I bet. Then.
Are we going to get the
She's
studio?
supposed to be back tomorrow,
Because I missed the studio.
I know.
Okay, all right. Well, at
Me
any rate,
too. I had jazzy dreams over the weekend.
Oh, and we have Dana calling from Bangor, Maine. Something Captain Kickass said about a month ago. Dana, you're on Free Talk Live.
Captain Kickass, yes. And by the way, I love your show, you guys.
Thanks, man.
About a month ago, Captain Kickass, you said that the U.S. dollar used to be a receipt redeemable in precious metal. That's what I have in quotation. I get it on an old piece of paper.
That's my understanding. Is like even like the silver certificate.
That's what they were called.
It is what it was called, and it looks different than the modern. Like I think I saw one. It was a $5 silver certificate. I think my grandparents had one, like in a frame on their wall. And the deal was that they told me that you used to be able to take this silver certificate into a bank, and they would give you that amount of silver back for that certificate.
It's possible that some of the silver certificates were legitimately redeemable, but most all Steve Zylinga, the deceased late Steve Zylinga, wrote a book called The Lost Science of Money, and in it he chronicles the fact that the paper money and the money was always they issued way more promises to redeem in gold and silver than they had actual gold and silver. In other words, they used the gold and silver as a fractional. They used it as the reserves in the same stinking game they've been running since the beginning of time.
Yep, that scam's still going today. There's still plenty of companies that'll sell you silver and gold on paper that they don't actually have.
Yep,
that's true. But these ones today. Going back, you hear a lot of libertarians always saying, well, we need to go back to a gold standard. We've never had any kind of an honest gold standard. In other words, it's always been a bankster standard, and they have been allowed to jack around with that reserve ratio and issue way more promises to redeem in gold than they actually had gold on. And that's my point.
Yeah, the true libertarian position, I agree with you. The true libertarian position, in my opinion, on this is that the government should have nothing whatsoever to do with money, and it should all be handled by the marketplace. So we have true free market competition in the area of money.
Yeah, you know how religion always, Christianity is always saying the separation of church and state and that kind of thing. There should be the separation of money and state.
I mean, there should be no state, period. But yes, if you're going to have a state, then they definitely shouldn't have any control over money, because that just aggregates even more power to them.
Well, yeah, you can't, in my opinion, though, you can't have private banksters in control like we have now. We have a system where we have private, unelected bankers, and here we are always complaining and moaning about the stinking politicians, these puppets.
Well, it's not like it would be any better if the bankers were elected.
The puppet masters are the banksters.
I mean,
and they always have them.
You're not wrong with your critique,
right.
but it's not like the system would be better if the bankers were elected, right? Like that would still be a crappy system.
Maybe we could try a little transparency for once in our lives and have an honest discussion
cryptocurrency.
about these stinking banksters.
Being
Thanks
free
for the
to
call
compete.
tonight, Dana. 855-450, free like freedom. Yes, let's please get the government out of money. This is Free Talk Live. More coming up.
The next generation wallet is coming from Divvy. In just a few taps, you'll be able to send, earn, spend, and exchange digital money in seconds. Send money around the globe with only a swipe. Instantly exchange between Divvy, Bitcoin, and fiat right in the mobile app, and withdraw directly to your bank account. Divvy already offers the first one-tap solution for earning passive income with crypto. Multi-tiered masternodes allow everyone to partake in the network. Visit DivvyProject.org. DivvyProject.org.
Gold has definitely been on the move recently, and there is no more secure investment historically. McIlvaney ICA has been helping people take delivery of precious metals and find storage options for decades. They've helped thousands of investors with their precious metal IRAs. Call ICA today for your free portfolio review at 800-525-9556 or download their free report online at ICAGoldSilver.com to learn how you can double your gold and silver ounces even within an IRA. 800-525-9556. ICAGoldSilver.com.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm.
Looking for a great real estate investment? Consider New Hampshire, which is ground zero for the Liberty Movement. Your first call should be to Mark Worden from Porcupine Real Estate. He's more than just a real estate agent. He's your New Hampshire concierge. Where are the best places to live? Do you want farm, city, the burbs, or forest? Do you want a duplex or multifamily building so that renters pay your mortgage? There are homes in all price ranges in New Hampshire, and Mark can help with financing too. Invest in liberty and property. Mark Worden can help.
PorcupineRealEstate.com.
Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get one free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
I've been told no in many different ways.
I give you an order and you're going to obey it.
George, you can go this way. You can do that and you have to leave here.
You cannot bring signs into the rally.
Walk with me. Well, I'm comfortable here, actually. Whoa. Hey. Who do you think you are? Excuse me.
There is no video and audio allowed in this office.
No, I have work today. This is...
You ain't going to make it.
Wait a minute. Hey! Oh my God! Unbelievable! Why are you running from me? Because you scared me. What am I being detained for?
You're being served.
What is this?
You're being served.
What is this? Bureaucrats have a funny way of telling people no.
That's the sound of the men working on the chain.
Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com.
Some of our live shows are streamed in HD on Twitch. Please follow and share at twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
Yes, welcome back to Free Talk Live. It's the Monday night edition. And Free Talk Live is a call-in show where you can call in, take control of the airwaves. Our toll-free number, of course, is 855-450-3733. That's 855-450-FREE, as in freedom. You can also get us at our Discord at discord.lrn.fm, where you can also join in the fun with all the different chat rooms that are there, as well as participate in the show with our on-air call-in lines. And with you in the studio tonight, it's
Ian.
And nobody.
And, of course, I am your host, the Reverend Captain Kickass. I want to take a minute, and I want to say thank you to Nick. Nick is a silver-level amplifier.
Thanks, Nick.
And if you don't know what an amplifier is, well, we have a program, and it's called AMP, and AMP stands for Advertise, Market, and Promote. And you can find out all about that at amp.freetalklive.com. But essentially, you can make a donation to the show, and that donation will go to getting us on more radio stations. We're somewhere around 200 stations now.
About 194 right now.
194.
We had a drop down over the last couple months. A few stations changed formats. They're no longer talk radio.
I would love to
One station dropped us because of our opinions on this whole COVID thing.
Right. I would love to get back over the 200 mark, and if you would love to help us, we would love you. And you can find out more over at amp.freetalklive.com. And again, Nick, thank you for being an amplifier at the silver level. We really do appreciate it. You help keep us going. Let's just continue on with your calls and your thoughts, shall we? Let's go to, we have Scott calling. Scott, you're on Free Talk Live.
Good evening, Ian, Captain, and nobody. I want to say before I go into my little rant, and I'm going to tone things down in the future, you allow me to speak. That's much more than other stations will ever do. So anyone who's listening out there, I want you to know that Free Talk Live is a very special radio program because, trust me, I have gone through many in the United States, and they cut you off at the knees. So you gentlemen allow me to speak, even though a lot of people, I realize, think I'm a crackpot in that job. I understand that.
Which is not to say we don't think you're a crackpot in a nut job.
Yes.
But we will let you speak.
It's just that most of us here have a very high, let's say, interest in freedom of speech.
Yep.
Well, thank you. And I hope you had a nice Mother's Day out there. I wish I could have. My mom's dead, but that's the way it is. People come, they go, and that's what it is. But anyway, what I'd like to discuss tonight is Jewish influence
Shocking.
in the U.S. And
No,
by the way, I'm
guessed.
Jewish. Wait a minute. I'm Jewish, so I want you to know that. So because I'm Jewish, any caller that calls in cannot say that I am an anti-Semite or a Jew hater. If I was a Gentile, they could. But I am Jewish, and I'm not just saying that. I really am.
So you're a self-hating Jewish person, okay?
That's precise. I couldn't have said it better, Ian. I am a self-hating Jew.
So Scott,
and I will tell you why.
I have a question first. So you say that you are at least partly Jewish. Are you talking about...
No, I am all Jewish. I'm all Jewish.
In what way? So there's like the bloodline way, or there's
my mother's Jewish, and my father was Jewish.
Okay. All right. Go ahead. Continue.
So I am a self-hating Jew because I look at the Jewish people, and I see that the damage and harm they've done in history and in the U.S. today. And before people say, well, you're just a Jew hater, let's have some facts of what's going on in America today. I don't even know where to begin, gentlemen. It's so vast. But let's look at the Federal Reserve.
I'm going to guess you're going to throw out the bankers. You're going to throw out some other Jewish communists, like you always do.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that.
And then we're going to bring up the fact that there's Jewish people who are libertarians, who are great economic thinkers, who are completely against communism, and you're going to ignore that point, and you're going to continue rambling on about Jewish bankers. Does that pretty much summarize what's going to happen next?
No, it's a lot more than that, Ian. It's so fast, but I'll just spit it out.
It's uncanny.
In other words, between the Federal Reserve, controlled by Alan Greenspan and Janet Yellen, and putting out all this funny money. And Alan Greenspan got us into the hole that we're in, make no mistake, to Bernie Sanders being...
there are central banks all around the world that aren't run by Jewish people, right?
I'm pretty sure China's central bank isn't being run by a Jew, but yet it's still a central bank, and it still acts like a central bank.
Right.
Because that's how central banks behave.
Well, look at the Rothschilds. Look at the Bank of England. Look at the power and sway that the
Right.
Rothschilds
Only
have.
look at the things that back your argument up and ignore all of the other evidence. That the fact is that central banking is a thing that people in search of power over others do. People in search of vast wealth, willing to use violence, willing to use deception, whether they be Jewish or Christian or atheist or whatever, Muslim or whatever. We find these people all around the planet. And for you to just blame Jewish people is incredibly disingenuous. It's incredibly closed-minded. But here we are.
Yeah, Scott, I want to.
If you ever read
the protocols of the elder learning Zion.
Wait a minute.
Yep, you always bring that one up too.
Forgery, but it's authentic. It's authentic. The Jews will.
Are you sure you're not somebody out there with like a soundboard of Scott the Bigot who just keeps pushing the same buttons?
Has it occurred to you that if people were actually engaged in a nefarious plan that they didn't want anybody to know about, and somebody say, publish that plan in a book, you'd kind of, out of self-defense, have to change your plan. But on the other hand, someone else could follow that book and use it to frame you once it had been published. So I think there's a lot more on heaven and earth, Horatio, than is dreamt of in your philosophy.
You got to come up with some more notes to play, Scott. It's getting pretty repetitive.
Yeah,
Thanks for the call.
Thanks for the call. You are indeed a walking oxymoron. I don't understand how, he can have the opinions he has, being who he is, without, time warping or, distorting the space-time continuum.
Well, there's plenty of people who hate themselves, Captain. I mean, that's not uncommon.
Well, let's just move right along. Speaking of people who hate themselves, let's go to James in Arizona. James, you're on Free Talk Live.
Scott's your kind of caller.
Why is that?
That's why you give him plenty of airtime. He's easy to play with. But his
we give you plenty of airtime too. But you just complain about it.
You're an absolute liar. But anyway,
I bet if somebody went back and counted up the number of sheer hours that you've had on the air, it would be more than many of our co-hosts.
You've spoken more in the public airways about me than I've been on the public airways.
The only time I speak about you, James, is if you call in. Otherwise, we have interesting things to do. Interesting things to talk about.
You lie with the ease with which you breathe, Ian.
Okay, go ahead. Tell me one lie. What's one lie? Go ahead.
Scott Bigot's
one lie.
Scott the Bigot's worldview.
You want to accuse me of lying? You better back it up.
Talk radio that where you take control when you call in and
back it up. You accuse me of telling a lie. Go ahead, back it up.
I haven't had a chance to speak. You would instantly interrupt me. But anyway, Scott the Bigot's conspiratorial worldviews are no different than Rich Nobody Paul's worldviews that the government is out and controls everything and all the world's problems, the government's problems. He just doesn't call them Jews because we both know that Scott's conspiratorial worldview is grotesque, but Rich Paul's is just as grotesque as him repeating the smears of me about me having 3 Deweys. Speaking of a lie,
I didn't hear him repeat anything about that. In fact, we didn't talk about you tonight, and we don't have any reason to.
Every time you 3...
Here's a tip, Scott, or whatever your name is, James. Here's a tip, James. If you don't want people to talk about you, stop calling, okay? Just stop calling.
Don't
get a life.
Here's a tip. Tell the truth, repent for what you've said, or I'm going to hurt you.
Pick a lie.
And
Go
Jack
ahead.
Edge.
Pick a lie. You don't want to have a conversation. He just wants to rant.
That's enough. When he starts talking about hurting people, that's where I draw the line.
I would have drawn a line earlier, but hey, your tolerance is different than mine.
I guess I'm just
don't call in and say don't call in, call me a liar, and then refuse to give an example.
That is true. I mean, you do have to back up your claim, or at least you should, in just the general discourse of conversation. 855-450 free, like free. Yes, thank you for not listening. Nobody made a difference. We've got more Free Talk Live coming up. 855-450 free.
Houseflies defecate every 4 to 5 minutes, spreading diseases and germs. Protect your food and your health with Bug Assault, a miniaturized shotgun, which utilizes ordinary table salt as ammunition. Non-toxic, no batteries required, only $39.95. Use discount code GCN and get an extra 10% off your purchase at bugassault.com. Fire your fly swatter. Get your Bug Assault today.
Now, with orders to stay at home, public health concerns, the reality of illness due to pathogens and viruses, your health is at an all-time high risk. That's why it's critical to take a proactive approach to boost your immune system. You can with new nano-colloidal silver from Americare, our patented process with tiny silver particles, 1/100th the size of a red blood cell, allows for maximum body absorption. Americare's nano-colloidal silver effectively disinfects your body internally, attacking pathogens and viruses while supercharging your immune system. Colloidal silver is antibacterial and antiviral. Simply put, it prohibits bacterial respiration, suffocating viral cells, preventing the virus from replicating. And now, due to public health concern, Americare is authorized to offer our lowest and best price ever, around $1 a day, but supplies are limited. Purchase nanocolloidal silver now at immunesupportnow.com. That's immunesupportnow.com. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Supplies are limited.
Hi, I'm Dan Pilla. I started fighting the IRS over 40 years ago when they tried to seize my mother's house. I sued the IRS and won. I beat the IRS then, and I've been beating them ever since. I wrote the book on tax debt settlement, and I've helped thousands of people deal with tax problems they thought might never be solved. I can help you too. If you owe taxes you can't pay, don't wait another day. There's no such thing as a hopeless tax case. Call 800-34-NO-TAX or go to my website, danpilla.com. That's danpilla.com, danpilla.com.
On Free Talk Live, we're bringing people to the ideas of liberty every day. From wrestling superstars like Glenn Jacobs.
You guys really are having an impact, I believe. Like I said, a lot of where I am now is due to listening to Free Talk Live. You changed my mind on some very important issues years ago.
To random people tuning in on the radio.
I was kind of stuck in the left-right paradigm. I heard your show by chance on a Saturday night. From there, I went on, joined the Free State Project, and become an amplifier. So, I mean, that's really the reason why I amp is because I know that if it wasn't for you guys being on as many stations as you are, I never would have found the ideas of liberty.
Your amp will directly change more lives by getting Free Talk Live in front of people looking for talk radio online and on the air. When you amp Free Talk Live, you get perks like access to the AMP-only Facebook group and AMP podcast. Visit amp.freetalklive.com. So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM. Are you tired of governments murdering people around the world? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless, free market, non-political currency. Bitcoin cannot be inflated or controlled by any government. By using their money, you're helping the state. Stop doing it. You have an incredible alternative available now. Learn it, use it, spread it. Get started with Bitcoin at bitcoin.com. That's bitcoin.com.
Love what we do? Please help support our international satellite channels at patreon.lrn.fm. That's patreon.lrn.fm.
Welcome back to the final segment of this live Monday night edition of Free Talk Live, the live call-in radio show where you can take control of the airwaves at 855-450-FREE like freedom. We might have time to get you in. And with you in the studio tonight, it's myself, the captain.
It's Ian.
And nobody.
And I wanted to tell you about ForkFest 2020. You can join liberty-minded voluntarists, anarchists, and libertarians from June 29th until July 5th for ForkFest 2020 at Rogers Campground in the beautiful White Mountains of New Hampshire. I'm looking forward to this thing, and if you're planning to go, please call, email, go to their website, make your reservation now. ForkFest happens the week after Porcupine Freedom Festival, and ForkFest is decentralized, which means no one is in charge. That also means there's no ticket cost. Just reserve your camping, RV site, or motel room with Rogers Campground for June 29th until July 5th. Where better to celebrate Independence Day than around other freedom-loving activists in the Shire? You can simply relax and go camping with other liberty lovers, or you can create whatever experience or event you'd like other people to have. If you're planning an event for ForkFest, be sure to let others know in advance. You can connect with other ForkFesters via the unofficial Telegram chat or the ForkFest forum. You can find links to those on the unofficial website, forkfest.party. That's forkfest.party. Let's just continue the show with more of your calls and your thoughts. We've got Greg calling from Brooklyn, New York. Greg, you're on Free Talk Live.
Hey, and I normally prefer non-market or non-capitalist solutions, but in the case of these masks, I think capitalism, good old capitalism, can do much better than the government. So what I mean is,
yeah, how so?
Government's supposed to lead, right? Government's supposed to
No,
create.
they're not.
No, I have no interest in being led by a
that's what they're
government.
supposed to do. I'm not saying that's what they do. I'm saying that's what they're supposed to do, like on paper.
Well, they
right?
can lead. I'm not going to follow, so they should get out of my way.
For the sake of your call, okay, let's just say that that's what they're supposed to do.
Yeah, like if people want a government and there's a pandemic or let's say an earthquake or a volcano, like this is what we want the government to do. We want the government to tell us what is the framework? What are the individuals and organizations supposed to do? How can we organize ourselves to actually get something
I don't
done?
want that.
Why would I listen to those people on that? Those people are morons.
Yeah, they're thugs. They don't have any authority over me. I don't grant it to them. I don't believe in them, and I sure don't want their advice.
They can't convince anybody to buy their product, so they have to take the money by force. Why would I do business with them in any way?
I don't want to pile on, Greg, but I mean, government can't even run its own organization in any sense of, a matter of a good way, or as an example. I mean, it's a bankrupt thing. It doesn't even produce anything, and it can't even run its own organization. I can't, understand why anybody would look to them for leadership.
Government, as Bastiat said, is that great fiction through which everyone attempts to live at the expense of everyone else.
Yes. So the key word is supposed to. The government is supposed to in the minds of these people. It totally failed. My point is, there are no masks. There are no tests. There are no masks. Now they're starting to sort of have tests. The masks are being shipped from China. So here's my question: Where's capitalism? Why aren't a lot of companies just stepping up and making these masks in America?
Capitalism is being suppressed in America. You may not have noticed, but the government is ordering businesses all over the country to shut down. That's something you can't do in a capitalist country. It's simple socialism when the government takes total control over your life.
Well,
so the reason that capitalism isn't solving the problem is because it doesn't exist here.
Well, it does to an extent. Hang on, Greg. It does exist to an extent because I've seen market adaptation regarding masks. For example, I have seen Iron Maiden branded medical masks. Right. So if I'm a metal guy and I want to, throw the horns up, I can buy myself an Iron Maiden medical mask. I've seen other brandings, other than bands and that kind of a thing. So people are definitely making masks. They're definitely personalizing them like you would, a cell phone case or something like that. So there is market adaptation, but I believe nobody is correct when he says that we do not have actual capitalism here.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm not saying we do. I would say that the mask manufacturer is an essential business. I don't think they would shut down mask production. But I will say that in February, no one was being shut down, and no one got ahead of this thing. No one got the masks out.
Well, did you know this was going to happen before it happened?
Well, we knew in China that everything was spreading asymptomatically, so someone knew. The medical officials knew, but they were just total. I mean, even Dr. Fauci was like, you don't need to wear a mask unless you have symptoms or something.
Well,
and it's like,
if government didn't claim a monopoly on those sorts of things, right? Like, we're going to tell you what to do and how to do it. If they didn't claim a monopoly on that, your health insurance company or your medical providers would have been able to make maneuvers, make predictions based on what was going on in other geographic areas and get you prepped to your satisfaction. But because government has a monopoly over these things, those industries and those organizations aren't allowed to do so.
Well, plus the government can just swing on in and take your inventory, as we've seen them doing. If they see somebody's got some things they want, they'll just come right in and take it.
Well, I'm certainly not going to produce anything that the government's likely to steal.
Right.
Also, you can't produce anything for medical purposes without government permission.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Hey, Greg, thanks for the call tonight. We do appreciate it.
Hey, Captain, before you go on, I think some of these flight changes that they're talking about here are pretty important. I'd just like to throw a couple of them out. Would you mind here? So this is according to the World Travel and Tourism Council, the so-called new normal will almost exclusively...
The new normal.
At airports will be the almost exclusive use of online check-ins and contactless payments. There are radical things the airports will have to make, changes they'll have to make, starting most probably with stopping non-flyers from entering at all except for unaccompanied minors or others who need assistance. So if you wanted to go drop off your loved one at the airport, you're not going to be able to go inside to give them one last hug goodbye.
Wow.
You're not going to be able to wait at the baggage terminal for them to come out. Of course, before TSA, you used to actually be able to go into the terminal.
Right until they left,
with
you could
people.
wave out the window to them.
They will need more extensive all biometric check-in systems and efficient do-it-yourself for dropping off bags. So if you need help taking a bag up and getting it off of your hands into the airline, they're talking about doing that now, getting rid of humans, I guess. In that case, that's insane. Tunnels for disinfection is what they're talking about. They must also install demarcation of spaces for social distancing in corridors and concourses. Can you imagine? You know how it is when you get on a plane, right? Like everybody's in the gangplank, right?
You're
they're
queued up.
The board. Yeah. Well, now social distancing with these lines.
They're going to let one person at a time through? How long is it going to take to board a plane?
Yeah, I don't know. It already takes a while. Now it's going to take even longer.
Well, and how are they going to social distance you once you're on the plane? Those seats are real freaking close together.
It's all fantasy. It's all, it's all for show. Okay?
I mean, don't get
all
me
the air's
wrong.
recirculated.
I would love an airplane with plenty of room around me, 6 feet around
It's
me.
not profitable,
I
though.
mean, well, of course not, unless they raise the prices.
Right, 6 times. They must also install demarcation, larger spaces for queues and waiting, plexiglass and other protective barriers at customer service counters, hand sanitation stations, and thermal scanning to check crowds for fever-grade body temperatures, which means they're going to be just scanning the entirety of the airport, and they're going to come up to you and say, "Sir, your temperature is a little too hot. We're going to have to take you away from this flight."
My temperature goes up because I go through their radiation screening, and it raises my ambient temperature.
Only those fit to fly will be allowed to enter, according to Simplifying in a recent airport where they identified...
What do they mean, fit to fly?
I don't know. Where it identifies more than 70 different areas in the passenger journey that are, quote, expected to either change or to be introduced from scratch, including...
70 areas?
Having bags sanitagged after going through fogging, electrostatic, or UV disinfection to restore confidence in flying after COVID-19.
Wow.
70?
Well, I pretty much stopped flying after 9/11 because it became too painful, and I don't see anything in my future likely to change my mind on that.
Yeah, I also have refrained as much as possible from flying. I did fly, obviously, to New Hampshire when I moved. But
what is an electrostatic spraying?
Ooh, I don't know what that is.
That's going to be happening on planes.
It sounds like a bad plan.
Yeah, this whole thing sounds like a really bad plan. 70 things are going to change?
Yeah, they're talking about stopping serving food altogether on short-haul flights as well.
Wow.
Not so friendly skies anymore.
If the world is so crowded, need that to keep us alive, then just let us die until that's no longer the case.
That's all the time we have for tonight. Thanks, everybody, for listening, and thanks for your calls. We're here 7 nights a week. From 7 p.m. until 10 p.m. Eastern Time. So if you want to get on the air, give us a call. Otherwise, everybody have a good night. This has been Free Talk Live. You can find our archives at freetalklive.com.
Remember when you first heard about Bitcoin? How long did it take you to realize this little project would soon change the world? Do you kind of wish you had got involved sooner? Well, now is your chance to be a part of the next revolution in money. Intercoin is working to finally